Live from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, the fabulous Ariel Helwani Show has hit the road and the team is in Sin City for International Fight Week. Now, put your hands together for your host, Ariel Helwani.
Back in here live on this Friday, June 27, 2025. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back inside our brand new Las Vegas studio. Yes, thank you so much to our good friends right here at the Venetian Resort in Las Vegas. I mean, what a setup. What an absolute setup we have here. Did you get a look at the poker table? And yesterday, look at this. Custom, my name on it, uncrowned, Las Vegas 2025. Yesterday we had a star-studded affair. The likes of Alex Volkanovski, Israel Adesanya, Dan Hooker, Ashbel Castro, Danny Rubenstein, John Wood, Raul Rosas Jr. You see that? All signed it. Today, all our guests will be signing it as well, hopefully this side of the table. And then we're going to auction it off. And all the money is going to go to the Ben Askren family, the family of one Ben Askren. They are in our thoughts and our prayers, and this is the least that we can do. We are so happy to be here. We are just a little over 24 hours away from UFC 317 International Fight Week right here in Las Vegas. We're going to be here for several more days. We've got the watch party tomorrow here from Las Vegas, post-show here from Las Vegas. We've got the Monday show here in Las Vegas. A lot going on, and today it's a star-studded affair. How do we top yesterday? Well, this is how we top yesterday. In a matter of seconds, we're going to be joined by one of the greatest champions in the history of this sport, the one and only Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. Then we're going to be joined by the one and only Ian Machado Garry, a rising star at 170 pounds, this close to fighting for a belt. Then we're going to be joined by one of the most dominant and successful and decorated champions in all of combat sports, and in particular heavyweight champions, the pride of the Netherlands, the king of kickboxing himself, the one and only Rico Verhoeven, coming off his big Glory 100 win over Artem Vakitov. And then we round it out with the man himself, the undisputed heavyweight champion, the one and only Tom Aspinall. But let's say hello to our guests here. Hello, friends. How are you? Please, don't be shy. Oh, let's hug. How are you, Destiny?
So it's warm in here.
How are you? We like it warm in here. Please, have a seat. It's not the Mighty Cast, but it will do. Please, right over here, DJ. And what a great honor this is. We've got Mr. and Mrs. Mouse here.
I did. Well, you asked me to, and
I said bring her because today was like your day off, right?
Yes. Today's a day off. We're gonna go hang out, jump in the pool, and then you texted me, and I was like, hey, can you come by?
Well, she had to say yes first.
Yes, because this is the day.
He knows the non-negotiables, and then he knows you always get a yes.
I appreciate that.
We go back.
I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. It's good to see you, and I see you guys working very hard. What's that, Frank? What are you telling me? Okay.
Starbucks off the table?
No. He was saying talking to the microphone.
Oh, okay,
You
gotcha.
guys know this.
Yeah,
By the way, how come you don't put your wife on your show?
You know what?
You give Once Over all the love.
I know. I haven't yet. I'm sure we'll have her on our show one of these days. I think she's been part of.
Have you been asked?
I have not.
Let's stir the pot here.
Damn. Why are you going to do that to me like that, huh?
Yeah, why haven't you
We're all about
asked?
transparency and honesty.
I don't know. Fans, leave a comment if you want me to do a Mighty Cast with a wife.
I know you did RG3's show.
Yes.
His wife's on.
Yep.
So I thought maybe you would have seen that.
To be fair, they do
They
that
do the show together.
They do,
right?
yeah.
They
But,
do.
you
They
know,
do a
pop
great
in,
job.
pop out.
Yep.
Would you like to be on? Let's mediate this right now.
I would love to.
Wow. Okay. Have you heard? This is good. We're getting right to it.
She's told me she's wanted to be on before.
How are you feeling about the microphone situation? Frank, is Destiny's mic on?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Because
Okay.
I hear DJ perfect in my ear, her not so much. Okay, cool.
Okay, what
DJ's
we're gonna
having
do?
a problem with the microphone right
You know
now.
what we're gonna do? Well, I want to make sure I don't turn my back to my
Sure,
wife.
no, I
you're
appreciate
fine.
that.
What I'm gonna do is, we're gonna do a Mighty Cast with the wife when I get home.
Yeah.
We're gonna plan it, and then we're just gonna vibe out, talk to her about, what is her viewpoint of me as an athlete, husband, father, going through the whole entire career.
Podcaster now.
Podcasting now.
YouTuber.
I think she likes that more because I'm home
Yeah.
more to be able to help out. But I did an interview with who was I talking to? Alex Volkanovski. He asked me a question, and I told him my whole career, every single time she was pregnant, I was always leaving.
Wow.
She gave birth to Tyron, left to go fight. Gave birth to Maverick, left to go fight. Gave birth to Tanith. I came home from her fight, and then I had, a blood clot. So to get her perspective of, my career through her viewpoint, I think fans would enjoy that. I got to make sure the setup's right. I got to make it all sexy. But hopefully somebody else. It's always different. I feel that if I ask her, it could be a different answer. That if she came on your show by herself in a different atmosphere, you might get a different answer. I feel like. So I don't know, but
did he ever miss a birth?
I'm pretty transparent. No.
Okay.
He didn't miss a birth.
Okay.
No, but he did leave the hospital same day of delivery to go train.
To go train. I thought you were about to say to go fight. You
No,
couldn't miss
but
a training
he
day?
had to leave, because we had wanted natural. I mean, we could talk about this forever, but we basically chose cesareans so that he could go, because he would, fights are like whenever you can take them, they choose the dates, and then it's like, well, shoot, okay, he's leaving 4 days after I deliver so that he can do time difference.
Yep. Wow.
So we just made
People
it work.
don't think of these things.
Yeah.
And now you guys are a duo because I saw you working hard to set up. It's like a real mom and pop shop, despite your incredible success.
It's hard freaking work.
Yes, it's just the three of you. You, Destiny, Michael here.
Yeah, so Destiny handles all the logistics when it comes to anything. So when we did the Mighty Journey with Descendants, she got the hotel, she got the flights.
Wow.
All the snacks, water. She wanted to make sure he was absolutely comfortable. When I did the Mighty Cast in England, she picked up Airbnb, so she handles all the logistics. Even when
what a blessing!
It's an absolute blessing. And she was already amazing at that when I was fighting in my career, because when I would travel, she would be like, "Why do they put you in that shitty ass hotel? Like, why do they do that? Like, fucking idiots! Like, they could have put you right here. You would have the movies. Here's a restaurant. You could eat healthy. None of that stuff." So at the tail end of my career, like, they would send me like, "Oh, we're gonna have you stay here," and I'm like, my wife like, no. He's gonna stay here. Like, this is where everything's gonna be.
Because I know what he likes.
Yes.
And how can you? I mean, work is work, and sometimes the grind is still work. It's not always fun.
Of course.
So I know what he likes, and I'm like, well, if you're miserable, hour and a half away from the arena, why wouldn't I make it to where you can have all your things? You're basically immersing life into work life when you're away from home. Why wouldn't we just make it to where you have everything that you like?
Yep.
You're happy. It's an easy transition.
And then there was a point in time where Matt goes, "Who picked this hotel?" And I was like, Destiny. Goes, "Very good."
Nice.
She's very
And
good.
it's hard to get his approval. I've been working for almost 20 years.
So and then we got Michael here. But typically when we do the in-persons, it's mostly to me and Michael. I've shot Mighty Cast by myself with Chase Hooper, and then when we did RG3 and we did Nikki Rod, that was me and Nick. And so this is her first time. Actually, when we did the Texas with Nikki Rod and RG3, she booked that, she found it, and so she's part of the team.
I want to ask you, because you've been with him forever, since before he was Mighty Mouse, right?
Yeah.
You met when you were teenagers.
I was 19.
You were 19?
Yeah.
How old were you, DJ?
20, 19?
You
Okay.
just had turned 20.
Oh, yeah, I just
we met
turned
when
20.
you were 19.
Did you have
Yeah.
any fights at that point? Amateur?
Zero.
Nothing.
You hadn't had your first amateur yet. I didn't go to your first amateur
She
fight,
didn't go to my
but
first
you
amateur.
hadn't had your amateur fight
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
To see, so like one of the big, we've talked about this a little bit, but I'd love to hear your perspective, because, I feel like he was one of the most underappreciated, disrespected champions, and like one of those classic stories of like, oh, people start to love you when you're gone.
Totally.
But now he is beloved because of the podcast, the YouTube, all that. So to see, it's a beautiful thing, because sometimes it happens when someone unfortunately passes, they get their flowers. I
Totally.
feel like you're getting your flowers now. And what's amazing about it is it's like you're the same dude. Maybe you're opening up a little bit more, but it's like, man, why couldn't this have been tapped into when you were headlining Fox or pay-per-views? What is it like for you to now finally see your husband get the love, the respect, the admiration that he probably deserved many, many moons ago?
I love it. And I have to say, you were the first person that I remember years ago. You said, I feel like you're going to be one that's appreciated after your career, like once you've retired. You did say that a long time ago. I don't remember where we were, but I do remember you saying that. And
Thank you.
I think he is the same person, but he's not at the same time. And I think that like, I don't know why you're laughing. You worried about what I'm going to say?
No.
Okay, I'm curious.
No, I think that wisdom, like I really think that it's beautiful to see him get his flowers, but he still doesn't take it. He doesn't absorb it. And I think for him, the drive is to not accept it all the way, you know? Like, even he got credit from Volk yesterday, and it was like, he's still, you know, even DC, you know?
Yeah.
It's one of those things I think keeps him hungry. Doesn't want to ever go back to what he came from, you know? I don't know, but it's beautiful. I love it.
But as you're watching him in his prime, one of the greatest champions of all time, and sort of not getting the love, not getting the push.
It was hard.
You want to be like, yo, this is my guy.
Gosh.
He's the freaking man. Show some respect.
Absolutely.
And now it's happening.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's great, but our life doesn't change. That's the thing. It's like when we go home, we are such normal people that, like, some would say, why are you not, like, if you're the man? It's like, yeah, but we're so normal. We're just different. Like, I think we have always been different. Mm. We've always been just a different couple. Like, we're just weird, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know if that's weird. I think people respect that and appreciate that.
I would hope so, but we also don't know. I mean, I don't hear a lot of comments about it other than, like, you know.
I think the biggest one is when we live, people are like, why do you live here? What are you doing here? Like, the one I never forget is when I was working at the YMCA. They're like, why the fuck are you at the YMCA? And I was like, I have great machines, have a pool here, I can swim, and it's local. And they're like, you can live anywhere in the world, but you choose to live here. And I was like, yeah, is that a problem? They're like, I'm just dumbfounded.
I got asked at Target, not to cut you off. I got asked at Target, what are you doing shopping at Target? Like, where am I supposed to shop? Sorry. Like, we're normal. Like, hello, we're normal people. What makes it, just because he has a really cool job, like, our kids are so proud. I want everyone to have him to look up to. He's a great human being.
Absolutely.
You know, he really is. In his core, from the day I met him, he's a great human being. He's a really good athlete. He's a great father, a great husband. I mean, there's a lot of things. People need to be like him.
You're getting your flowers.
I was going to say the fucking best athlete.
I mean,
come on, DJ.
There it is.
Are you going to the fight tomorrow?
No.
Why not?
I don't want to.
It's so crazy. Well, when am I going to see once in the front row? Oh, look who it is. You do the thing. Like, why can't we see that once?
I think we will when the time comes, but, you know, I
Hall of Fame yesterday. How are you not in the Hall of Fame?
It will happen. Man. It will happen
when it's meant to happen.
When it's meant to happen.
It's crazy.
Right? Like, I just, you know, I like, you know, like you said, I like just to live a normal life, separate myself from that, and, you know, obviously I'm going to watch the fights. Like, I'm going to make content around it, and for me, being in the atmosphere and watching it, you have a lot of people talking and you're doing all of that, and for me, I'm not ready to immerse myself in that space right now, right? Like, I sitting at my house, watching the fights, analyzing, and then creating content around it.
So it's not so much that you're not being invited. You don't even want to go.
Yeah, I don't care to go.
Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy.
I've been to fights. I've been to fights so many times. I've been to the UFC fights. I've been to one championship fights. It's just, you know, there's something to be said where it's like, I gotta take a piss. I get up, I go pee, sit back down, I jump over the couch. I'm sitting here relaxing, and when you're in there, it's a lot of noise. I mean, I don't drink alcohol anymore, but after you go to an event like that, there's almost like a huge crash of just so much. What's the one I'm looking for?
Adrenaline?
Like an adrenaline
Not
dump.
adrenaline dump, but the stimulation is just so much where I just don't want to be around it right now, I guess.
Is your husband the greatest fighter of all time?
I believe he is. I believe he is in and outside. Like, I think
this is a very good point that you bring up. I appreciate you bringing this up. I appreciate this is good. You need to have it.
Go ahead, baby.
Because you could say I'm biased, but I also am 100%.
No, but you brought up
I'm
a good
raising
point.
children,
In and out.
and to me, that's how I view it.
Start cooking.
Life is different when you raise children, and you're. To me, of course, he is.
Yes.
You know?
So I said earlier this week, enough of this John Jones is the GOAT stuff.
Yeah.
Enough of it. Because if you have PED infractions, you're out of the conversation.
Yeah.
If you don't do what needs to be done, which is time-honored tradition, you got to defend the belt against the top guy. You can't be the guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that pissed a lot of people off.
See,
agree or disagree?
Yeah, so I agree with you. And here's the thing. Like, my whole entire career, I've always defended John. I've always defended John Jones. And I'm going to say this. Like, I truly believe he's one of the best to ever do it. I truly believe that. I've worked out in the same room as him. I've seen his eyes. I see how he moves. But then when I sit there and I've always wanted to do this on my channel, is basically dissect a person's career. Go to the very first time they got into the UFC and just go through the whole entire thing. And when you go through it, it's like Michael Wanzer, I love him to death. He is so honest and unbiased. And he was like, dude, like, how are you going to say John Jones is one of the greatest of all time when he's fucking failed a drug test?
Multiple times.
Multiple times. Like, listen to yourself right now. Like, you're lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself. Like, he's like, you actually look stupid. Like, you and GSP and Khabib have never failed a drug test.
Yes.
Not fucking once.
Yes.
And you're sticking up for somebody who's clearly failed a drug test, right? Now, if you go, I know Shaquille O'Neal said, oh, he's one of the greatest. Shaq, let me sit you down. Let me run you through the whole entire career of all that stuff, right? And, you know, when you sit there and you peel back the onion and you start looking at that, it's like, you know, yeah, I always...
You didn't believe in that. That's not what you were about.
Yeah,
you
I didn't believe it.
So how can someone who did that multiple times...
It's like approval. It's almost like if you're putting him in the same category as
then
you,
you're
it's
okay
like
with it.
you're approving
Yes.
and condoning what he did.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, we can have, you know, two mountains. You have a mountain of just clean motherfuckers out
Yes,
there. You
yes.
know, me, GSP, and Khabib. You can have one of the fractions of guys like, fuck, I failed the drug test, you know. And it's just, it is what it is, right? I mean... Like, I think, and I ask my community, I always like to go with the community says, right? I never forget when I was in esports and I was working on the game and I was like, this game is esports worthy. And they go, no, it's not. Like, you don't get to dictate that. The community dictates if it's esports ready. And so I did a poll and I was like, guys, like, just be honest with me. Like, you can ask all the fighters in the world and even all the celebrities, whoever you want to ask, like, if somebody has a failed drug test, do they qualify to be on GOAT Mountain? Can they be in that conversation? Now, people might say, hey, you're hating on him. I was like, no, I'm speaking facts right now. These are legit facts. I've never failed a drug test. Khabib has never failed a drug test. GSP's never failed a drug test. Why haven't we failed drug tests, right? You look at the long reign we've done. We've never been stripped. We've never, I mean, and then you look at somebody who has been stripped. You know, I never forget, I saw the video. Somebody says, oh, John Jones, one of the greatest of all time. And, you know, picograms and all that stuff. And I remember Dana White sitting there and he goes, hey, DC, he failed. And I remember DC going,
yeah. UFC 200.
Right? And it's like people just, Americans and people who watch the sport have a very short-term memory. They truly fucking do. But if you go back and you peel back the onion, you look through the whole entire career. I'm not saying John Jones didn't do great things. He was an amazing athlete, right? But when you start talking about the greatest of all time, you know, you look at Muhammad Ali. I don't think he's ever failed a drug test. You look at Floyd Mayweather. He's never failed a drug test. You know, you look at what's the gentleman's name? He just beat Tyson Fury. Usyk. He's never failed a drug test. When you start looking at the greatest Usain Bolt, he's never failed a drug test. You know, you look at across the board. Name one athlete that's considered the greatest of all time in a sport that's failed a drug test.
Yeah.
Never.
You get disqualified.
And
then when you when you remove that, you always fought the top guy.
Yeah.
Even if it meant fighting him multiple times when it didn't make sense.
Yes.
There's Joe. Okay, this is who you want me to fight?
Yeah.
This whole thing about he doesn't excite me, this and that. Now, if he was just non-champion, John, hey, you want to have some fun fights, great. But when you hold that belt, there's a responsibility.
Yeah, and I think, and you know, people will always say they're going to be an asterisk on my.
Who says that?
Well, I'm just saying if people want to play that devil's advocate.
Who did you not fight?
Well, I would say TJ Dillashaw.
What?
Right. Well, I'm just playing devil's advocate, right? I've always been open about this, and even
he wasn't the top guy.
He wasn't a top guy, right? And obviously, there's a whole things that we go over it. Yes. But I did not fight him because the demands weren't being met. And then John asked for 30, I asked for 1 million, right? You look at the fucking difference. I'm all like, let me get $1 million. John's like, pay me $30 million, I'll fight that motherfucker. He goes, here's $30 million. He goes, you know what? I'm not excited anymore, right? So that's one thing you could say about my career if you want to say it. But obviously, if TJ was in the 125 pound division, worked his way up and fought, it's almost like it's
not the same.
It's not the same, but I had Volkanovski on, and me and Volk were talking about Movzar. Guy's 19-0. 19 fight win streak. Can't even get. He's like ranked number 4. What was he ranked 4 or 5? Yeah, and I was like, who dictates these fucking rankings? Like, so. But yeah, I mean, John Jones, him fighting Tom Aspinall. My personal opinion, I wanted to see it. I say it all the time. I don't think Stipe versus John Jones should never happen. I love Stipe. I think he's a great athlete. But the fact that people get title shots off losses for somebody who's never fought for 4 years, and what he was doing in those 4 years, being a firefighter, way more important than coming back fighting John Jones and trying to become a world champion. But you had a healthy interim champion, Tom Aspinall, and you had a healthy champion, John Jones. Why did that fight not happen? Now, if they go up like, oh, well, we wanted to make more money, sell this. Okay, they say that. It's not a sport, right? The more I follow the sport and I cover UFC, I'm like, this is not a fucking sport. It's truly not. It's a reality TV show. Everybody just fighting, you know. Yeah, I mean, we can go on all day about this whole thing, but I think it should have been Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. And the fact that John retired, 38, he don't leave the house unless he's making $100,000, and it doesn't excite him. That's perfectly fine. I just wish he would have retired after he fought Stipe because
November.
It's always going to happen. And then now that he's gone, everybody's looking at his career. We're all coming out saying you can't be the GOAT. And I think a lot of athletes, like let's ask GSP. Like GSP, let me ask you a question. Do you think John Jones is the greatest of all time, even though he's failed a drug test? He might, I don't know. Let's ask Habib. Like, hey, dog, you're a clean athlete. All your athletes are, let's talk, like, you know, let's stand on fucking base. Like, do you think, you know, ask John Jones, like, John, you know you failed a drug test, right? Even though it's a picogram, do you consider yourself the greatest of all time? Even though you failed the drug test, like, tell me your honest opinion. Like, be a man. Like, that's how I view it. Like, I try not to be biased, and even though I have defended him for so long, and then people are like, you're fucking stupid. Yeah. You know, it is what it is.
I appreciate the perspective. Can I ask your perspective? Today we had the weigh-ins, and, you know, I think we get like 10% of what really happens behind the scenes, how scary it can get, how uncomfortable it could get, how close everyone is to like freaking
death,
falling over.
Would you partake? Would you be there as he's cutting weight? Would you, or do you not want to see it? Like, what was your role in his weight cutting process on the Thursday night, Friday morning?
That's a great question, actually, because I wasn't really involved with his career in that part as far as fight week. I was my position, not by his choice, but by coach. Coach was, I mean, I was nowhere to be. I was not allowed.
Oh, really? Not allowed?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I was not allowed.
You couldn't see him?
No, it was like a...
What?
We separate.
Who's this? Matt Hume said this?
Yeah.
Yo.
It was very much...
And you adhered to this?
I did not.
You're the boss. Oh, you did not. So what did you do?
I did not. I mean, I wanted to be a part of it, but I was put in my place to not be a part of it.
Wow.
Just to keep him focused. We just had a chat about this, actually, of like, if I could go back in time, I wish I would have had the foundation I have now to be like, I'm going to be there.
Sure.
You know, I wish I absolutely wanted to be there. Nobody else supported him the way I supported him. You know, I wish we could go back. And we did. We talked about this just recently at this. Like, I wish we could have gone back and I was part of it. Like, I wish, I mean, obviously I was there every fight week, but I was very much like, nope. Separate rooms, separate.
So like
you're not allowed.
When's the last time you saw him? Like, would you see him like he went to the airport and then you'd only see him after the fight?
Off, and then most of the time, early on, I wouldn't see him even. I don't even think
after weigh-ins.
It would be after weigh-ins. I wouldn't even.
But at least before the fight, you would see him.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and you guys, correct me if I'm wrong. You never did the thing where like you get off the bus and you're walking together into the.
Never.
You never did that thing.
One championship, not even.
Right.
Yeah. And I think the reason
I'm curious how you felt about this.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously like she said, we talked about like we could have connected more in our marriage and relationship as, you know, best friends, you know, husband and wife through that career, because it is a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster of a ride of, you know, emotions up and down. But for me, and this is why I think it made me one of the best to ever do it, is that I separated it.
Absolutely.
Like it was my job.
Yep.
Like, and you asked like, you know, what was my weight cutting procedure? You know, at the beginning of my career, I would always ask Matt, what are we doing? What are we doing? Why is this working? Why are we doing this? Then it came a point in time where I'll just cut weight by myself. I'll wake up, text him, hey, I'm like 5 over. I'll jump in the tub, and he goes, oh, let me come. I was like, dog, sleep in. I fucking got this. I'm 37 years old.
Yeah.
I've done this time and time again. I'll text him, hey, I'm on weight. I'm chilling in the room, ready to go. And then like my whole goal when I was an athlete, and even to this day, is like, I want to be the easiest. When Matt's on his deathbed, beep, they're like, tell Matt, before you're the last word, tell me about, you know, Demetrious Johnson as an athlete. I want to say he was probably the easiest athlete I ever worked with. Like when it came to cut weight, when it came to nutrition, when it came to doing X, Y, and Z, he was the easiest. And so I took it upon myself. Like, you know, I think when I first started cutting weight by myself was probably, not by myself, I mean,
yeah, when you say by yourself, what do you mean? There's other people with you, right?
No, I just jump in the tub by myself and just cook and then get out.
But is that safe?
I mean,
because what if you get lightheaded, you fall? No.
You know, it is.
He's a pro?
So don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It isn't safe, but I feel I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but what if you get lightheaded?
I mean, you fucking fall down.
Renan Barão, remember he hit his head on the thing, and then Renan Barão.
Remember
TJ Dillashaw was supposed to fight him?
Let me ask you a question. How did he waterload for 2 weeks? Did he diet correctly? Did he do everything correctly?
Yeah.
Probably Probably not.
Yeah.
I did
No, you
everything
prepared.
correctly. I
Yeah, we
prepared.
were
Like,
prepared.
it's like, hey, when I think the most weight I cut in a day was 8.5 pounds. And I was trying to fight Joseph Benavidez at UFC 152 in Toronto.
Yep.
And I looked like black ass Skeletor.
It was horrible.
It was horrible. So
That
Matt was
probably
watching
one
me
of the
then,
worst.
right? At the beginning of my career, yes, I had supervision, but it came a point in time in my career where it was like, guys, I don't need you to watch me. I know what I'm doing. Like I would show up and Matt would come in. He goes, you want to wait? I'm like, yeah. And I take a picture, show him. He's like, all right, good. All right, I'll come get you in.
He wasn't even in the room? Wow.
Because I told him, I was like, there's no point. I was like, and then there were sometimes like, at some point in time, I'm like, hey, you want company? I was like, sure, come. If you want, just chill and I'll cut weight.
So let me ask you this. If he wasn't there, why couldn't you be there?
I think, like, to be fair, and I don't regret anything of the way that it was done. Like,
Okay.
I don't look back and have, like, animosity towards it at all. I think there's a reason he held the title as long as he did.
Yep.
Why fix
all
it if
worked.
it ain't broke?
Yeah.
I mean, it's there's just the time of, like, I would have loved to see behind the scenes.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'm as a fight fan, anyways. It's like it's cool to see it.
And actually, she would see me. So after I would cut weight, we would make weight. This is back in my day. You would wait till 4:00 p.m.
Yeah.
Weigh in, and then after that, I will go eat, and we'll be together.
Yeah.
And after we'd eat, we'll go do another workout that night, and then she'll be able to see me work out because when I train, she would never be part of my training. And she was like, "This is the only time I actually get to see
Right.
you like." Your job, right?
The night before the
The
fight.
night before the fight, and then
Yeah.
I'll start moving, and she goes, "All right, he's fucking ready." And then
Mm-hmm.
my favorite thing she says, she goes, "This is probably the most manly shit you ever do."
Seriously, at the time.
Yeah,
At the time,
of course.
at the time, and then
Because it brings out a different, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
and then when I would fight, then after that, then we'll be together. And then,
Yeah.
but like I said, when I came to fight, it wasn't a family affair.
No.
It was fucking big. I came here to make money. I didn't come here to like, and I told her that, and she was amazing, supportive. Like if I needed something, like, hey, I need more water,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on it. Like the logistics, I got you. What do you need? I need a scale. This scale's fucking off.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a new scale. She'll go somewhere and get a scale. Like so, she served her role. I
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
served my role, which was a
Yeah.
provider. I show up and I'm gonna compete. After that, we go home and do our thing.
Favorite DJ fight? What's your
wow.
favorite?
Oh my gosh.
I would say probably the second Adriano fight.
I was gonna say
You're saying that on her behalf? You think that's
I
what?
think so, yeah.
we've talked kind of about it.
Okay,
like,
okay.
Yeah.
Because of
yeah.
what happened in the first one?
That and it. Go ahead, speak, baby. This is
No,
your question,
you're
not
good.
me. No, go ahead, babe. No, go ahead, babe.
Everything that encompasses, I think, that fight was the time, it was the location, it was, I think everything was kind of, I knew, even on his last fight, I knew before, like right when he signed that dotted line, I was like, this is his last fight. Because you can just watch the spark of like, do you have the spark? Is it still there? But the second one was just badass. I loved it.
It was incredible,
I
especially-
loved it.
By the way, did you do the thing where you had the coffee and you told her? Remember you said that Eddie Alvarez told you when you were going to retire?
God, it was it was kind of interesting how she knew that I was going to retire before I knew I was going to retire because she's the only person who could read me and understand where I'm coming from because I don't really speak much, I guess you could say, at that time in my career. And she was like, this is it. This is the last one.
Oh,
I can
wow.
tell.
You could tell.
And
The
I was like,
spark
nah,
wasn't there.
it's not. I'm gonna, I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep on going. And then I'll never forget, like, she knew. And so but once we got done, I never forget, I was walking in the back of the room with my kids and I was going to the press conference. And then I was like, you know what? I was like, I think I might be done, but I don't want to be one of those guys who I'm going to retire, then I'm going to come back because I miss it. And that's why I said, I'm going to give myself a year off, just, stay active, still work and train, and then start working on the YouTube side and start building my brand outside of fighting. And then, but she knew, but then
You were like a month in to that third fight with Adriano training camp.
Yeah.
And you like got the nerve or the courage to like bring it up and you're like, I think I might be done.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I'm like, I knew.
I already knew.
I told I did. I already knew. I told my best friend at the time, I had told her, I think this might be it.
Wow.
But I didn't tell him,
Yeah.
And then a few weeks after he started training for the camp, he's like, I don't know what it is, but I think I might be done. And I'm like, I had a feeling. But then after that, you didn't retire right away, right? Like we practiced retirement life for a year and a half just to see.
Power washing and things like
still
that.
do
he's
it. I
been
just-
doing
I
that.
was literally going to send you a
He
picture. I
loves
just
it.
pressure wash all the concrete on the right side. And I just feel like sometimes as an athlete, and it could be my perception, but for me, I love to just normalize things, right? Like, you know, when we're doing like the Mighty Cast, like I feel it's important for me to set everything up. I just want to know what's going on, or
you take pride in that.
I take pride in that, and also like, you know, just I've always lived a normal life. I was always hands-on in my children's life. I never, you know, you guys are trying to send me a card to pick me up, which I appreciate.
Yes,
but I was like, no,
no.
I'll get an Uber. I'll get there. Don't worry about it. I'll be on time. So
yeah.
But yeah, man, it was a great ride. I loved every bit of it. And I think what made me so emotional about retiring was that I fucking love fighting. I love it. I love it. And to finally say, like, I can still fight if I wanted to. I know I can. But there's just, like she said, there's just not that spark. What am I fighting for? Am I fighting for a paycheck? That's not what got me into fighting to begin with. And so I just, it was. That's why I was so emotional. I was like, I'm the Wolf's retiring. The Dragon's leaving the battlefield.
Well, and we came home from that, not to cut you off, but we came home after that third fight.
Yep.
And you had a long conversation with someone very important that I won't name, but very important.
Who the fuck was that?
I'm going to go on and then you'll know. Okay. And he gave you said, this is what you're thinking.
Yep.
And then he gave you his input, and he says, you know, you can always make money. You can always make money.
Yeah.
And someone in the sport retired, lived a beautiful career, and it was just like you always had admired him.
Yep.
And you said, I wanna call him when I get home.
Yep.
And you called him.
I'm wondering who this is now.
Yeah, GSP.
I was going to say that, but I wasn't sure.
And it was a long, beautiful conversation of just like all these questions going back and forth of just life and, you know.
Yeah, because I think, I guess.
What a guy to ask. Also.
Yeah, I know, because I truly felt.
Who else?
Yeah,
I mean,
I truly felt he could have still. I mean, look, he looks better than half the fucking roster. And he's like, what, 43, 44, 45? I don't know how old GSP is, but he still lives a healthy lifestyle. He still trains. And, you know, and I wanted to ask him because I felt he left when he could have still did a lot more. And why not ask him? And I feel like in the sport of mixed martial arts, people like they retire from the sport when they're like, you know, they're either on a losing streak and they're getting beat up. Or I feel if you look at the span of everybody's career in mixed martial arts, that's when they retire, is when they're all beat up. And so, you know, I went home and I called him, and I'm grateful he had that conversation with me. And it kind of helped, you know, not ease the blow, but kind of like made me feel that was it helped me navigate that decision I had in my mind.
And then the scan you had on your brain.
Oh yeah,
and they're like, dude, we got 10 plus years of your brain, and your brain's smarter now, and your brain is beautiful.
Yeah, he goes, you look good, man. I was like, fuck this, I'm out, man.
Yeah, that was like the last straw for you. You're like, okay, that's it.
Yep,
that is it.
You guys are a beautiful couple. This has been wonderful, really. I told you I'd take you to 12. It's 12:03.
You're fine.
We're doing something. So we got this custom poker table with my name on it. You see it, the show's name on it?
I see it now, yeah.
And we asked everyone who stopped by yesterday and today to sign it, and we are going to auction it off.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to give all the money to Ben Askren's family.
Nice.
So if you don't mind, he's going through a tough time.
And
I think we've got, you see that guy over there? What did you just say? Oh my God, you're crazy.
We're trying to get Buck versus Cuck and go feed families, baby.
No.
But unfortunately, you know, Joaquin
Do
Buckley.
it over here.
Joaquin Buckley got out wrestled.
How could you say that? How could you say that?
It's fine.
I'm gonna tell
People
him
are
right
too
now.
sensitive in this fucking
Destiny,
sport,
this guy.
I didn't hear what he said.
He's got a potty mouth. It's unbelievable.
Horrible. Hey, you know, our children,
right over here if you don't mind.
are trying to start like a potty talk dollar bin. So
like
a jar. So every
he's
time
probably
he
the
says
biggest
it
contributor.
That's
your
would be
signature,
the only.
DJ? It's one of the all-time worst signatures. What's wrong with that? Can I get a mouse? Can I get something?
At least you
No,
can
I'm
fight,
kidding, I'm
baby.
kidding, I'm
At least
kidding.
you can fight.
I'm kidding. Look at Stylebender gave me like a whole like motivational speech in there. Oh, you're actually.
What do you want me to say?
What are you doing? Wow, you're actually making it? I don't even know what that is. Oh, it's the face. Oh, you have it in you.
It's Dragon Ball Z.
Yo, see? Look at that. This is amazing. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. This was great.
Yeah, we love you. We always
Thank you.
know.
Thank you so
We go
much.
back.
Enjoy your time off. Away from the kids. DJ, you're the man.
Thanks, brother.
Much love. Congrats. And we could bring in the big dog here. We could bring him in. Yeah, let's bring in the man himself. Thank you so much, DJ.
Thanks, man.
I will.
Appreciate you.
I love you guys. Thank you so much. That was great. And now we bring in the man himself. Look at this. From a future legend to a former legend.
Yeah, I'm good.
How are you? Great to see you. Thank you so much for coming.
No problem.
It's been a long time.
Lady's not let in today because we're
Oh, I'm sorry. Is she all sorted? She's all good? Okay. Please, it's been a long time. Right here.
Yes, sir.
Long time since we've seen each other in person.
I know.
It was
It's
like
way too
before
long.
New York, like
Before my debut, yeah. 3 years ago, 4 years, 4 years.
I was
ago
gonna say
now.
like 6 or so fights ago. but yes.
2021.
Yes.
6.
No, 7.
Oh,
8,
you're
9.
massively underestimating.
Yeah, no, it's-
10 fights ago, my
Is
friend.
it really 10 fights? I feel like you may.
That's how active I've been.
I know.
That's how active I've been.
I feel like you
10
had a few.
fights, November 6, 2021. So I would have seen you that week before the fight. And it's been 10 fights in the UFC since then.
Golly. Please speak into the microphone if you don't mind.
I got you.
It's so nice to see you. I saw you in the car yesterday with the fans showing you love.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, the reception yesterday was really good. Really lovely. Obviously a lot of Brazilian fans for a massive stacked out Brazilian card from top to bottom. But yeah, a lot of love and it just
Are you
a lot
here
of smiles.
to support your friend and teammate? Are you here to do promotional stuff?
I'm only here to be part of the Shoot the Box family.
Okay, I
To
love
just
it.
be here, give energy, do anything I can to help. If it's give people a lift and be there, if it's just be there to put on a little dance and sing a song and give some good energy, that's all I'm here for.
Okay, so it's interesting. I couldn't help but notice Ian Garry writing on one of my Instagram posts
Mm-hmm.
regarding a conversation that Alex Volkanovski and I had yesterday regarding the weight cut.
Yeah.
And I wasn't throwing shade. Just
No,
for the record.
I know.
It's just very unique to see that 2 days before the cut.
Yes.
And you wrote something to the effect of, this is how it's always been, this is
Yeah.
what we do. So can we talk about this? Because I was really surprised. I guess I just never noticed that he did it 2 days before
Yeah.
the whole towel thing.
So everybody's different.
Yes.
I do it a different way. I'm pretty sure you'll have 10 boys in Shoot the Box do it different ways because everyone's different. We're talking about Charles de Bronx Oliveira. Most finishes of all time, most
Yeah,
submissions
not
of all
questioning
time,
it.
most bonuses of all time, former champion, about to be another champion on Saturday night. He knows what he's doing and he knows himself. No one else knows him better than him. And I feel like, from my point of view, watching what happened that night, it was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever been a part of. Powerful, cathartic, religious, cultural.
Wow.
It was so empowering. I was sobbing my eyes out with the energy. And this is the best way I feel like I can describe it to you. I can never describe it to you. It's something you can only feel.
Wow. I saw the photo, the photo that you guys posted. Like it did seem, I was going to say spiritual.
Everything about it was
Why
a
do you
higher
think?
connection, a higher power. And
And that's unique to him?
I'm aware of how religion is a massive part in the culture of the Brazilians and how powerfully they connect with their religious beliefs. And I can't speak on behalf of Charles, but only speak on behalf of what I witnessed. And I feel like you're surrounded by people that you love and you care about. And when these people all sit around you and they give you that vibration energy and they sit there and they pray for you and they put hands on you and they pass on their energy to make you stronger and bring it to you so that God protects you, helps you with a smart weight cut, a safe weight cut, and then you go into that fight mentally free, knowing you're loved, knowing you're cared about, knowing your team and your family are there for you. It's a very special feeling. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And when
Yeah.
you've got all the accolades that man has, it clearly works for him.
Okay, and he made weight, no problem.
Made weight, no problem.
54
Everything
and a
was
half.
beautiful. Everything was simple. And he had such a lovely energy and smile on his face all week. So it was. I'm a massive Charles fan. I have been since well before I was a member of the Shoot the Box family. So for me to sit there and watch this firsthand as a friend of Charles, as part of the Shoot the Box family, but also as a fan, it was mind-blowing. It was such a surreal moment for me, and everything that he does works for him. And I cannot wait to see it all accumulate on Saturday night.
So
and it's a
obviously
massive fight.
It's gigantic. You're his friend. I'm not expecting you to pick against him. I mean, you're backing your guy, but you say it with confidence. Why, in your opinion, is Charles going to win this fight?
Well, firstly, it's a tough fight. Like, Ilia Topuria is one of the greatest fighters in the sport right now. Look what he did in his last two fights. He knocked out two of the greatest featherweights of all time. But Charles isn't a featherweight. Charles is one of the greatest threats the UFC has ever seen. Anywhere the fight can get finished, and it's over like that. It's done in a second. From flashy jiu-jitsu to one-punch combos, his style is mesmerizing and chaotic. And I feel like when you've got that aggression from Ilya and that chaos from Charles, I only see this being a car crash fight. Like someone's getting it somewhere, some way, somehow, and that's the battle in my mind. That's the dance that they have to do. Like this fight, the way I fight is very controlling. I like to control someone's pace. I like to make sure they move where I want them to move. I don't think either of these guys care. They're just going to meet in the middle, and that's the fight. So for me, when I think of Charles has just got everything. And I feel like Ilya just has to keep it on the feet. So for me, there's so many ways for Charles to be dangerous and offensively vicious. And his tools, I believe, his arsenal is far more deep than Ilya's is. But Ilya has still got that shotgun. So you have to be smart, but have confidence. And I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. And obviously I'm Team Charles. And I think Charles is going to win. And I believe Charles is going to win. But I also believe that neither of these guys deserve to leave this fight night without a belt. I think both of these guys are phenomenal champions. They're both great ambassadors for the sport. The way they carry themselves, the respect they have, the love they generate from the fans and the fights they put on. Both of them are world champions in my mind, and it's going to be upsetting to see one of them walk away without a belt.
When are we seeing you again?
Whenever the UFC want to put me on. I've said yes officially to 2 guys.
Okay.
I have said yes to Bilal, and I have said yes to Sean Brady.
Okay.
This week, I am trying to have a meeting with the UFC and organize everything, just get it finalized. But I've said yes to those guys. Whenever they want to do it, whenever they believe is the biggest show that they can
when
put
do
on.
You want to fight again?
I'd fight Saturday.
Wow.
That's Ariel. You know
You're
what I'm
crazy,
like? Look,
man. How much you weigh? How much you weigh right now?
85.
Okay, easy.
I weighed myself last night. 85 kilos.
Easy.
But it's easy for me. I just want to fight. I've told you this. I don't want to be in this political battle of I'm just going to try hold my spot. Try maintain relevancy and then look for this option. I want to be active. I want to beat the best in the world. Those 2 guys are number 1 and 2 in the world. I have a preference of leaning towards Bilal for reasons that are very obvious. Former champion, just lost the belt in a close fight with the current champion, Jack Della Maddalena, has fought Sean Brady and knocked out Sean Brady and is number 1 in the world. So for me, I lean towards fighting Bilal. But I'm not against fighting Sean, beating Sean and still being there. But whoever I fight, I'm fighting for a number 1 contender fight. That's it.
Do you think they're
No,
in agreement?
that's it.
That's it.
That's happening.
Okay.
That's
And I saw you going back and forth with Sean and saying, like, of course, and he's insinuating that you don't want to fight him.
No, that's bullshit. I look at my last 2 fights. 3 weeks notice against, and I think we can both sit here and agree that Shavkat and Carlos Praches are far more dangerous than someone like Sean Brady. With Sean Brady, you know what you're getting. He doesn't hit hard. He's going to wrestle. He's great at wrestling. He's great at submission grappling. But you know what you're getting. When you stand across from someone like Carlos Praches and the way 28-fight finish streak both of those guys were on combined. And I ended both of those finish streaks. I'm not afraid of any man walking this earth. I'm the best welterweight on this planet. And it's my job to prove that. And I need to fight the best guys in the world to prove that. So whoever the UFC want as the bigger fight next, I've already said yes to.
What happens? So we know we're getting JDM versus Islam.
Yes.
What happens if the winner of that fight says, Shavkat, he's been here, this and that? Is there any worry that he's going to come right back in that spot? Or do you think that your activity will seal the deal?
I am inevitable. It's only a matter of time before I get that belt wrapped around my waist. Whether they want to... and I mean by they, I don't mean the UFC. I mean by whoever's the champion. Want to drag it out and call out someone else and choose someone else. I'm going to get my opportunity, and I don't mind beating up both Bilal and Sean Brady in the time if that's what happens. But I'm fighting for a number 1 contender fight next, and whoever wins that belt between JDM and Islam, I'm fighting next.
Now, be honest with me. When you saw a couple of weeks ago your old friend Kamaru Usman beat Joaquin Buckley,
massively surprised.
I
did not. I thought Buckley was going to absolutely starch him.
Really?
I thought, but when you've been out of the game for a long time and you're coming off a 3-fight skid, which he was, and in those fights he didn't look bad. Do you know what I mean? He just
Shavkat fight, he looked okay. Took it on short notice.
get Khamzat.
No, sorry.
Khamzat. I
Yes,
got you.
yes,
Don't
yes,
worry.
yes.
Yeah, but he didn't look
2 years
bad at
ago.
all.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it didn't
yeah.
look bad.
Yeah.
He didn't look bad against Leon. He didn't look bad against Khamzat. And he didn't look bad against any guys. He just got beaten by the better guys on the night.
Yeah, yeah.
And they beat him. And that's okay. To come in against a guy who had confidence and that explosivity that he fights with, that kind of, I call him a runner. Like, he wants to run through you. He's zero fundamentals. But Usman just dominated that lead hand battle. And stopped everything that Buckley had. And I was very impressed. But you and I both know what Usman's going to do. He's going to take as much time as he possibly can to try and fight for a belt and jump the ladder and do all those things. I don't believe you lose 3 fights in a row, beat number 7 in the world, and get a world title fight. I don't believe it.
Would it be at all awkward for you if they asked you to fight him?
I'd fight anyone.
No problem.
I'd fight anyone. I'd punch the mouth off him. Yeah. He's not going to out-wrestle me. He's not going to out-grapple me. He's not going to out-cardio me. There's nothing that man can do to phase me or my skill set. I'll jab the mouth off him. I'll knock him out, and that's it.
You had to have watched with a bit of a smile after all the stuff Buckley said. No? He's coming up to you at your fight, this and that, and then, it was almost like this, all right, inevitability.
It's one of those childish things that I kind of don't pay attention to. Like, you hear it in the background,
but now he's all the way in the back of the queue.
You hear it and you don't pay attention to it because it's like, the truth is he's an idiot. Like, he is. He's just trying to say the most polarizing things to get attention and get media, and he knows. And this is the thing with most of the welterweights, right? And most of the people in the entire UFC, they know you mention my name, you get a video of me, your video skyrockets up to the top of MMA media. And that's a fact. Whether people love me or hate me, if my name's mentioned or we're in a video, it's the most talked about video at that time. And there's a couple of people that might have more when you talk about John Jones and Tom Aspinall and all this stuff. You chuck my name in the mix there and poof, there's stories left, right, and center, and people want that attention. And it's just desperate. And the stuff he's saying is cruel and horrible, and I don't stoop that low, and I definitely don't pay attention to it. So for me, I don't wish anyone, I don't like to see or smile at someone's loss or failure, but very proud to see Usman go out there and go, right, put the kid back in his spot and bring him back down to this level. And the truth is, he ruins the welterweight division anyway. When you've got all these young, talented killers.
It's the best weight class in the UFC right now.
Best weight class in the UFC right now, and I'd argue it's the best the welterweight division has ever looked. Yeah. And that's not taken away from the greats in the past, but the sheer competitiveness. And the reason I say Buckley ruins it, the amount of losses that man has is more than me, Shavkat, JDM, Islam, and Morales combined.
Wow.
So he ruins the statistics of the division. Do you know what I mean? It's mental. Between me, Shavkat, take out the champion. But between me, Shavkat, JDM, Michael Morales, and Islam Makhachev, we've got 3 losses. That's how competitive this division is.
What do you think of Morales?
I think he's all right. I don't think he's done anything against anyone of the elite caliber, and I love Gilbert Burns with all my heart, but Gilbert's not been the Gilbert of old, and I'd hate to even vocalize saying that, but I want to see him against, and I don't even want to see him against a Leon, because I think Leon's broken and should be gone anyway. I think mentally he's gone. I'd like to see him against a Carlos Praches.
Oh, yeah.
2 big, long, awkward fighters. Both of them are very good, and Praches' stock is still high. Do you know what I mean? Even though I whooped his ass for 24 minutes, you know what I mean? He's still high. I'd like to see that fight, because I think that's a very interesting stylistic fight. Long, tall, keeping that fight in the South American roots, and the winner gets skyrocketed up the division. But yeah, I think you'll see Michael Morales probably fight someone like a Leon, and he'll dominate him, and he'll be very close to the title.
You have to go in 2 minutes, but I want to ask you this last question. And again, thank you for doing this. I know you've got a ton of things. It's so great to see you in person, and thank you to Layla and Lloyd and everyone. Every couple of days I go on Twitter, and top of the thing I see is our good friend Oban Elliott. And it feels like he's working through the loss. I saw him this morning saying losing sucks. He's in the dumps right now. Mm-hmm. What's the message to the Welsh gangster who lost about a week ago and is feeling it seems like? Have you imparted any wisdom on him?
I have. Okay. I've messaged him and sent him my love and just gave him any advice I possibly could, or any love that he needed in that moment. I feel like he is such a talented human, and he just needs to know. I believe he lacks a little bit of confidence in himself. Not in a bad way, but just he doesn't know how good he is. And sometimes I think he fights with that energy. And I think he just needs to go, I'm one of the best this world's ever seen. And I'm going to go out there and prove it. And I will do anything I can to help him, to help him reach that potential, whether it's just having a laugh with him or being a friend and pulling him in, because we've done camps together and I'm going to want his help for the next camp, whoever it is, because he's an amazing human. Losses do not define you. When you look at the greatest of all time in this sport, they've all lost. They've all had some area of adversity that they've had to overcome. And when you recognize that and move forward and use that energy to enable you to be a better version of yourself, that's a very dangerous human. And I think him coming off a loss, having everything in the UFC already been sunshine and roses, 3 wins, knockouts in MSG, and just all that positive energy, this is a moment that will define his career. Is he mentally strong enough to push through this position and come back stronger and more dangerous? I believe so. That's the fight he has to have now. And anyone out there that's battling losses or problems outside the octagon, you win them, everything in the octagon becomes easier.
Wise beyond your years. What an energy you bring into this room. Like, you came in like a tour de force. I told you,
it's what I do. It's what I do.
Ian, you're the
I'm not afraid
man.
of anyone on this planet. I'm not afraid to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. I am one of the realest they've ever seen, and I will just do it. It's that simple.
We've got this poker table here that's custom, and everyone that's coming by the studio while we're here in Las Vegas, we're asking if they could sign it. We're going to auction it off and give it all to Ben Askren's family. He's going through a tough time. Do you mind signing it for us on your way out? Right over here on this side, because we're trying to populate it.
You do whatever you want to do.
Thank you so much. You're the man. Thank you for
by the
coming.
way, your hometown of Montreal was
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh.
absolutely stunning.
I love to. Oh, wow. Lloyd Pearson is here. Lloyd, come have a seat, Lloyd. Please. Why doesn't Lloyd ever do interviews? Lloyd, come on. All right. It's great. This guy's the man. You couldn't hear anything? Well, it's a very busy time.
Just saying about how I'm the most beautiful
He deserves big contracts.
So handsome.
Wow.
I'm so handsome, and he just finds it difficult to understand how I've had 10 fights in the UFC against all these killers and still managed to look this
That's
handsome.
exactly what I said, verbatim.
And I tell him that's just how good I am.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
The freaking man. Thank you. Lloyd, great to see you.
You know where we are.
Yes, thank you so much. What a nice surprise. Thank you. Say hello to the family. There he is, Ian Machado Garry, and good luck to Charles Oliveira tomorrow, the whole Shooter Box team. What a freaking amazing day so far. We had Demetrious Johnson. We had Destiny Johnson. We had Ian Machado Garry, a cameo from the great Lloyd Pearson. Look at my setup here. Hey. Dun, 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 dun. Frank, can I ask you a question?
What's going on?
The mics are working, right?
Absolutely.
There's no problems?
No problems.
Okay, I was worried there.
When you see it pointing straight up, can you just tilt it forward a little bit?
Oh, yeah. So you told me, what you said to me was, as we break the fourth wall here, we're going to be joined by Tom Aspinall in about 30 minutes. Tell all your friends. You told me it's like a flashlight.
Exactly.
So you said point it, and I said, all right, I'm going to point it.
I think you're doing a great job, man.
Okay. Thank you. There's a couple of fans here. We're having a good time. By the way, I went right into things. Oh, yeah, here we are. Thank you to our good friends over at Celsius, right over here. Thank you to the Venetian, Tom Aspinall joining us in about 35 minutes. Rico Verhoeven joining us in about 7 minutes. Hey, let's go over some of the weigh-in stuff, because it happened earlier today. One fight has fallen through. I got into things a little quickly there because DJ was standing by, but the Jackson McVeigh Chris Ewart fight has been canceled because Ewart was several pounds overweight, and he was about to make his UFC debut, and subsequently has been cut from the promotion. Golly. But everyone did, other than those two, well, actually I should just say other than Chris Ewart, make weight. Ilya Topuria, 155 pounds on the dot. Mr. Charles Oliveira, 154.5. Alex Pantoja, the flyweight champion, 125 on the dot. And Kai Kara-France, also 125. We do have some pictures in case you missed it. Here is Mr. Pantoja, the pride of Brazil, the product of American Top Team. getting better each and every time we see him out there. And here is Mr. Kai Kara France. Everyone very confident as far as the CKB team is concerned. Here is Ilia Topuria, the pride of one Georgia and Spain. And there's Charles Dubronx, 154.5. Looking good. And so, yes, yesterday with Alex Volkanovski, we were talking about that footage of him with the towels and all that stuff. And then I noticed Ian writing on the page like, hey, this is how we do it. Amazing to hear him talk about. What about that perspective? I really enjoyed the perspective of Mighty Mouse's wife saying she wasn't allowed to come in. But you know what? Everyone has their own system. That's what you'll learn. Like you'll see some fighters, they'll roll up to the fight. Like they'll come off the bus, they'll go to the locker room with their significant other. Some fighters don't want to see their significant other. Some fighters will be in their hotel room. Like remember Chase Hooper, he was there with his wife and kid, very young child. Some don't want their family to even travel. They want them to stay home. Everyone has their own thing. Impossible to question DJ's thing. So successful. He did what worked for him. So that is all the activity as far as the weigh-ins are concerned. Like I said, everyone else made weight. It's a very busy weekend in combat sports. Tonight, Deontay Wilder is returning. He is fighting in Wichita, Kansas against Tyrell Herndon. Tomorrow, in addition to UFC 317, we are also getting Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I know not every MMA fan will be into that, but you might be into the fact that Holly Holm is making her return to boxing, which I think is pretty damn cool. She signed with MVP about a month and a half or so ago and is looking to perhaps finish her career as a pro boxer. She's a Hall of Fame boxer, by the way. Like she is legitimately in the Hall of Fame, the Boxing Hall of Fame, and will eventually be a UFC Hall of Fame. Speaking of the UFC Hall of Fame, they had their ceremony yesterday. It was very nice. It's come a long way. Shout out to our good friend Ant Evans, who really did revamp the whole thing, rejuvenate the whole thing, redesign the whole damn thing, because WWE was doing it perfectly for years. They made it into a thing. And I don't even think that the UFC has made it into as good of a thing as possible as it could be. It should be better. It should be bigger, in my opinion. It could be bigger, but it's come a hell of a long way in the last 10 or so years. And there's no real rhyme or reason. There's no committee. It's really just like the brass that decides. And also there's no rules like, hey, you have to be retired for X amount of years. So it's a little willy-nilly, but I love that they do it, and I love that they honor their history, and I love that they do it this particular week, sort of like the UFC's WrestleMania week, if you will. I still wish there was an international MMA Hall of Fame, an independent Hall of Fame like we see in all the other sports. Football Hall of Fame, Basketball Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame, Boxing Hall of Fame, on and on it goes. But it's a great thing to have, and it's great to see fighters like Amanda Nunes, who coincidentally is coming back since all this was announced, but neither here nor there. Well deserving. Fighters like Robbie Lawler, they've got the fight wing as well. Israel Adesanya and Kelvin Gastelum going in, so cool for them, especially when you have a fighter. Kelvin probably won't go in on his own. Izzy will, so it's kind of cool that he gets that moment. Cub Swanson had a moment like that a couple years ago with Doo Ho Choi. Craig Pelagian, he got inducted. He is the creator of The Ultimate Fighter, or at least the executive producer. It's sort of up in the air as far as like who actually created it. And Mark Kerr, the Smashing Machine. And what about the fact that Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, was there, and the famous actress? This is going to escape me and bother me. There was a very famous actress there.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt was there. Did you see her?
I did not personally.
She is in the film as well, The Smashing Machine, which comes out in October, and she was just like there. It was pretty cool. Shaq inducted Vitor Belfort. He was inducted as well. Like, it was one of the more star-studded affairs. I actually tried to get everyone to go, and everyone was like, nah, let's go play craps. Let's go play some poker. I feel like I need some cards. What about this table?
It's quite the table.
Demetrious Johnson. He drew something, like some sort of Dragon Ball Z thing. Anyway, in a matter of seconds, my friends, we're going to be joined by the great Rico Verhoeven, 66-10, 21 knockouts, 36 years young, the king of kickboxing, the current reigning defending Glory Heavyweight World Champion, Glory Heavyweight Grand Prix Champion, has held the title for over a decade, 4,000 plus days as champion, 13 successful title defenses, undefeated in Glory since 2012, his debut. Wins over the likes of Badr Hari, Peter Ertz, Gokhan Saki, Sergey Kharitonov, Errol Zimmerman, many more. And just a couple of weeks ago, 2 Saturdays ago, defeated Artem Vakitov via unanimous decision in the main event of Glory 100. You'll recall Vakitov came on our program. He won a Contender Series fight, and it seemed as though he was going to go the UFC route. He has a history with one Alex Pereira, and all of a sudden, apparently he didn't like the deal that was being offered, and there was an opportunity to go back to Glory, and maybe Glory was tired of the fighters leaving their nest and signing with the UFC, and he said, you know what, I'm going to go get a nice little deal from Glory, and I'm going to headline Glory 100. Bit of a smaller guy. There was clearly a size discrepancy between the two of them, but Big Rico got it done. Big Rico got it done. A hard-fought win for him. And now there's a 32-man tournament, which is underway. And the thought process is he will fight the winner of that tournament. Now, we have been campaigning for a crossover fight against Francis Ngannou, and as the Francis Ngannou options continue to, whittle down, I still feel like this would be a huge fight. Given the right promotion, given the right push, given the right marketing, I think Francis Ngannou versus Rico Verhoeven, especially overseas, would be a huge fight. Rico is a gigantic deal in Europe, and in particular in the Netherlands. I mean, this guy is crushing it. He's building a boathouse. He's got all kinds of crazy things going on. And he also trains with the likes of Tom Aspinall, who will be joining us in 30 minutes. He's got a great YouTube channel as well. Both of them do, but Rico does as well. And recently, he did an iron nailed it gut challenge, which is them punching each other in the stomach repeatedly. And like they'll start at 25%. How they judge that, I don't know. And then 35%, and then 50%, and then 75%, and they go on, and they're like legit punching each other hard, and they're like flexing, and they're going. It's impressive. Are you enjoying these Friday shows, Frank?
Absolutely.
Should we make this like the new thing?
Let's talk off air about that.
Okay. Shout out to Jason Carney 3433 on the YouTube chat, who writes in via Super Chat, Rico versus Francis, that's right, is the only fight to make in PFL. Nothing left in Glory for him. Now, is he going to do an MMA fight? I don't know about that. But it would be a big crossover fight, a cross-promotional fight. It would be incredible. I would love to see it. 2 behemoths. I mean, how tall is Rico Verhoeven? Rico Verhoeven, let's see. Rico Verhoeven, he's got to be like 6'5". He's probably taller than Francis. Excuse me, what was that, Frank? Oh, okay, thank you. Appreciate that. 6'5", and Francis is 6'4". Legit battle of the giants. Thank you very much to our good friends here at the Venetian. Look at this. At the Venetian, we're going to be here for several more days. We decided to stick around until Monday, so we'll do our post-pay-per-view show from this very location, and then we'll go home on Tuesday. Next week, we'll have the Hardy Boys, Matt and Jeff Hardy, on the Wednesday show, so I'm very much looking forward to that. So I'd stay a little longer. Kids are away at camp. Got a letter from Walter today asking me, when are the Knicks going to make a move? I'm like, Walt, it ain't on me. Without further ado, let us say hello to the king of kickboxing himself, the most successful and decorated heavyweight champion in the history of combat sports. The one and only Rico Verhoeven. Yes, sir. How are you, my friend? Please. I'm good. Have a seat. Thank you so much for coming. Good to see you in America.
Thanks for having me, Ariel.
Good to see you. International Fight Week UFC.
Yes, sir.
This is big. What brings you here? Everything.
International Fight Week.
You're supposed to say your show.
Yeah, your show. I've got your show.
Yes,
You brought me here.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
No,
Let me
it's
fix
amazing.
this for you.
Is it good? Yeah.
Is that good, Frank? Is that good for you? Oh, he's so happy.
Yeah,
My audio
I
guy.
just heard we had to point it, right? We had to
Right,
point it,
right. Yes, yes, yes. How are you, sir? Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What are we, 13 days removed from the fight, Glory
yeah,
100?
something like that, yeah.
Artem Vakitov. By the way, I heard you've been in the U.S. for a little bit. You were just in L.A.?
Yeah.
What were you doing in L.A.?
I got so many connections. You know, I want to get into movies, so just try to combine everything at the same time. So coming in, shooting some content, meeting up with agents, and doing everything at the same
Auditions,
time.
talks?
Yeah, we got some. We can't say too much, but
Okay. Things are happening though.
Yeah,
Everything's
things
coming
are happening.
together.
Yes, sir.
It's amazing. I look on your page, and obviously, you see what you want us to see, but you're building this beautiful house.
Yeah.
You're killing it. You're headlining Glory 100. Like
Yes, sir.
you're from afar. We want to knock on wood. Life seems to be very good for Rico
Oh,
Verhoeven.
life is amazing, Ariel. Life has been really amazing. I feel blessed, and it's just like we just keep doing it. We keep living the dream.
Are you one of those people where you're like, I'm a negative person. I'm a glass half empty person.
Yeah.
So I'm like, when's the bad thing going to happen? When life is good, I'm always
Yeah.
thinking of the bad things.
Mhm.
Are you like that, or
No,
you're good?
definitely
Okay,
not. Definitely
I'm
not.
happy to hear this.
Always try to, if something negative happens, try to turn it into something positive.
Good.
So
That's the way to
just,
be.
Keep working, and that's the thing. Just keep working hard, even when you're on top. That's the only way you stay on top.
Yes, I
So
even
just-
saw like after the fight, your YouTube channel is great.
Yeah,
there's
it's
amazing
so much
stuff.
fun.
Well done to you and the
Thank
team.
you.
I want to ask you about some specific things, but in your video behind the scenes of Glory
Yeah.
100,
Mhm.
right after the fight, you go in the ice bath.
Yes, sir.
I don't usually see that.
No.
Is that something you request?
Yeah.
Okay, when did this start?
A few years ago.
So you go right in.
Yeah, I go right in because the body's sore.
Yeah.
And the only way to treat it well and to treat your the injuries that you have well is to treat them right at that second.
In the moment.
So in the moment. So that's what I do. I just jump in right away between 3 and 5 minutes.
That's crazy. You
So
were just
everybody's there. My family, my friends,
Energy.
everybody's there. Yo, guys, give me 5.
Wow.
And it's just good just to cool down and just like tune out. And then we did it again, just like enjoy the moment for a little bit.
Does it in a weird way, does it like make everything stop? Because now you have to be so focused. It's so
Yeah.
intense, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much energy, there's so much attention on you, there's so much buzz backstage. This I wonder if it like all funnels down into one singular thing into your body, because none of that matters when you're sitting inside a freezing tub, right?
100%. I think next to it being really good for your body, it's so good for the mind, because like you said, life and just like the stress, and there's so many things coming your way that you have to deal with. And that's why I say 8 out of 10 days I try to start my day off with an ice bath.
Wow.
Why? Because then, like a day of work, one day it's easy, the other day it isn't. So I jump in, and if it's an easy day, okay, you do it, okay, you get out. But sometimes you get in and it's like, oh my God, it is so cold, it hurts. And it's just like, you train your mental resilience.
Wow.
And then if I do it in the beginning of the day, I already feel like a winner. I start the day off as a winner, and I feel like, okay, what is today gonna do to me to take that feeling away from me? Because I already crossed the biggest hurdle this day could bring to me.
Even in the winter.
Yeah.
Outdoors or indoors?
Outdoors.
Golly.
Yeah,
Those
so
winters are cold over there.
I literally wake up. So the alarm goes, grab the towel, go
Really?
down, literally like that.
Nothing else?
Nothing else.
Wow.
Right away. So believe me, you're awake after that.
Yeah. No, God
works.
bless.
It works.
Glory 100, Artem Vakitov.
Yes, sir.
Was he tougher than you expected him?
Well, to be honest, I think he is an amazing fighter. Next to that, I don't want to take anything away from that, but I put him on such a pedestal, I put him so high that when I was there, it just flowed. And I was like, oh, okay. This is literally going how I prayed and expected it to go. So it felt like strange. So the pace was so high because I thought I gotta keep pushing because I watch all his fights. Like this guy has a crazy pace in his fights.
Yeah,
and that's what he does. He starts 9 out of 10 times he starts slow, but then after like the second round, that's when he starts warming up. He's like a diesel.
Yeah.
And then he starts pushing and stuff. Like, oh my god, okay, so I gotta be on point, better than I ever been. So that's what I feel that I was. I was in the best shape that I've been in for years.
Wow, really? In years?
In years, because I took it so serious. Finally, everything, my body was good, no knee injuries, nothing. So I had an amazing camp. I came in a lot lighter than I normally do. So now I was in great shape.
Did you feel like you had to come in lighter because he's a smaller guy? Yeah.
Of course.
Could you feel though that like just looking at you guys, you could tell that you're a bigger guy?
Yeah.
Could you feel that it's not an MMA fight, so you can't necessarily take him down and use your size, but there are ways that you can use your size to your advantage?
Of course, you have the distance.
Yeah.
The longer arms, longer legs, and as soon as he comes in, you like can hang over him a little bit.
Sure.
But in Glory now, the rules are so tight. You're not allowed to clinch. You can clinch, make one action, boom, and let go again, or else you get
penalized.
Yeah, penalized or whatever.
Do you think that he's going to stick around?
I think so. Yeah, and I truly believe if he stays in the heavyweight division, he will defeat like 80 to 90%.
You think he'll stay at heavyweight or go down?
I don't know.
It was such an interesting thing that he went on the Contender Series here, for the UFC.
Yeah.
He won. They wanted to keep him around, and he said, "No, thank you. I'm going back to kickboxing."
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe it was a money problem or something. I don't know.
I would think so.
Yeah, but because in
Glory,
Glory, of
way
course,
more
he
for
was.
Glory 100.
Yeah, he's a superstar. He's been champion for like.
Yes.
He was champion for 5 years or something. So that's why I was a huge fan of him. I love his style. I love the way he approaches fights because he's such a smart and tactical fighter, and he has a high fighting IQ. So okay, he felt like a smaller Rico. So that's how he approaches the fight. So that's why I took it dead serious. Everybody was like, yeah, but he's smaller, he's lighter. Yeah, so what?
Yeah.
We saw that with Usyk and Fury as well.
True.
So, and there's so many more examples.
So I thought it was a big win for Glory that he did that, because we've seen as of late a lot of people go from Glory to MMA and get really big and kind of use their success in Glory to propel them into other things. He said, no, I'm going to use this to come back and get the MMA fans to be like, whoa, that guy went on Contender Series 1 but chose to go back. I thought it was a huge victory for Glory as a promotion and for kickboxing.
100%.
A rare victory, because there haven't been a lot of those guys who have come back, if you know what I'm saying.
No, you're definitely right. But as you have seen, like for the last few years, it's just amazing how the people from Europe and the kickboxers are doing in MMA. I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Like now, my brother, he's the undisputed heavyweight UFC world champion.
What did you think of this whole situation? So your good friend Tom Aspinall, you trained with him not that long ago. You were training with him, right? I saw on your channel.
Yeah.
What a bizarre situation how it all played out. But in the end, it played out well for him.
Yeah, it played out well. I wished for him it would have played out differently.
Where he actually got the fight.
Yeah, he actually got the fight and just like took an amazing win. But like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So we talk about it, we laugh about it, we have so much fun, and then we look at each other like, who would have thought?
Yeah.
Two boys from Europe taking over the whole fighting world game. We're on top of the world. We're on top of the
Same weight
game.
class.
Same weight class.
Yeah.
We're doing it, man. We're taking it over.
When did you first meet?
Oh, that's years and years ago.
Really?
That was in a Tyson Fury training camp. Yeah.
Okay. And he was just a training partner? You were a training partner?
Yeah, we were just sparring partners.
Okay.
That's like how we met. And then, like I said, I think 5-6 years ago, he started coming to the gym and just work on his stand-up game. And ever since, we've connected. We've been friends, and he's been coming over to the house. We've been training. I've been helping him. He's been helping me. So amazing.
So I saw this video that you guys did, the Iron Gut Challenge. Yo, this is crazy, this thing, man. This is nuts.
Yeah, we
so
love
like
it.
You start at like 10%, 20%.
Yeah, something like that. We build it up.
And then you keep, and it's the way you guys produced it was great with like the meter and all that.
Yeah.
It's very, very well done. But it's I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, now they're gonna stop, and you guys keep going. You keep going.
But it's so much fun, Ariel.
That's
It's
fun.
just- yeah.
Getting punched in the stomach by a heavyweight champ. It looked miserable.
Yeah, but that's what we do. That's what we do
You
for
do
a
this
living.
like just for fun with no cameras.
Yeah, we also do it. Just like,
Let's go. Yeah, I know you're doing, but like just straight punches to
Yeah.
the freaking stomach.
Yeah, but it's like people think like it's an ab training. It's a training for your ab, but
Yeah.
it actually isn't. So it's more of a like again, it's
mental
a
thing.
mental game. Like you get hit, it hurts, you feel it, but how do you deal with that? And how can you still how can you cope with it and still function in a normal way? So yeah, and you have to do the same thing within the fights. So, like I said, it's fun and it's a mental training at the same time.
It looks miserable, but it's very impressive. And then it's funny as it goes higher. You're like, okay, you're talking about the breathing. Like it's
Yeah.
captivating to watch.
Yeah.
But I just can't believe you guys are standing there doing that.
No, but like I
Full
said,
force.
for us it's fun.
When you're going,
and-
when you say like 100%, are you really going 100%?
Yeah, we're close to 100%. Yeah, and especially like we just finished training, so we were sparring and everything. It's like, okay, I got a good idea.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, that's fun. That's a fun idea. Let's do it.
Jeez Louise.
But it, yeah, like I said, even sparring for us, we spar at like, let's say 80%,
Yeah.
80-90%. We go pretty hard.
And you ask him to come to prepare for the Glory 100 fight.
Yep, yeah. I ask him almost every time we could get him over. He
Wow.
comes over, or the other way around. If he needs me for a fight, I'll come over and help him out. Or if we both don't have a fight, we just or I fly to him or he flies to me, and we just work out together, just getting better.
What makes him so good as a training partner?
He's, in the good sense of the word, he's awkward. So, especially for me as a kickboxer, because in MMA you have so many different styles and ways of fighting that you don't have like one style. But in kickboxing, it's most of the time it's pretty similar, and that's what I mean with to me he fights awkward. He's different, and I like it. I like it because that makes it harder for me to adjust every time, because he brings different tools and different ways of attacking to the table that I haven't seen before.
Does his father comes too, right? Andy?
Yeah, Andy's the best.
Legend.
Yeah, he's such a legend.
He made some news this week as he was talking about the whole situation. He doesn't hold back.
No.
He doesn't hold back. He tells it like it is.
He doesn't. He's just like, if you want Andy,
Yes.
that's what you get. Like
The relationship is really interesting because in boxing you have a lot of father-son duos, right? Coach,
Yeah.
fighter. MMA you don't have a lot of that. So
No.
their relationship reminds me a lot of some of the relationships in boxing that we see.
Yeah.
Is that a common thing in kickboxing? A father teaching or coaching a son?
No, not as much. But you have it, but I had it. My dad, started teaching me kickboxing since the age of 6.
He introduced you.
Yeah.
Did he fight like what level did he go
Yeah,
to?
he was just like at a certain moment a professional A-class fighter.
Okay.
But yeah, he got injured and he stopped. So he started recovering from his injury, started doing some fitness, started doing boxing, kickboxing, and just people within our neighborhood said like, hey, why don't you teach? And he was like, yeah, why not? So then I was at the age of 6, so he brought me to the gym.
Wow,
and
he
that's how we
started his own gym?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and he was just like starting to teach like people in our neighborhood, and that's how it started.
Wow. Did you have siblings?
Yeah, I have a half sister.
Yeah.
So, but she was living with my mom.
Okay.
So she didn't kickbox. She started kickboxing at the age of when I was around, I think 15, 16 or something. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
When did you start to believe that like I could actually make a career out of this? I'm different. How old are you?
So I started off until the age of around 12. I did a few matches, but it was always so hard because I was so big. I was big and heavy. And at the age of 12, it just was so hard. My dad said, you know what? Because the age difference was becoming really, really big. So I was 12 and I had to fight guys that were like 14 or 15. And then at that age, few years, it's just a big difference. So my dad said, you know what? Wait till you're 16 and you'll be in the adult division. That was like back in the day. It's not anymore,
Okay.
but back in the day, at 16, you were in the adult division. So okay, let's do it. But it was so hard at that age when you're 12, 13, 14, and you have to train. My dad was really strict. So he was like, you have to train, but I didn't have nothing that I was training for. had no competition.
Right.
So, but he was just like, keep pushing, keep going, keep going, keep going. So we did it, and finally I was almost turning 16, and then having my first fight. So
Pro or amateur?
No, it's amateur. It was my first fight.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. Period.
Yeah, period.
Okay.
So yeah, as an adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
So finally, I was almost 16. So I turned. My birthday is the 10th of April. So in February, the phone goes, "Yo, we got a cool event. Do you want to have fighters? Did you want to sign up?" Yeah. Finally, we can sign up Rico. Okay. I was 16. I was weighing 100 kilos.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. So the legs were already this big, but the upper body was a little bit skinny. So I said, yeah, we got somebody. He's 21 years old, no experience, so perfect, heavyweight. All right, let's do it. Then I turned 16, and a week later, the phone goes. Yeah, that guy, yeah, he pulled out. So, yeah, we got a problem. But we got a new opponent, but he's 24. Yeah, okay. It is what it is. I've been waiting so many years for that moment, so let's do it. Okay. So it's the 30th of April. That was the date of the event. I was there. I was in the ring announcer. And in the blue corner, his opponent is 28 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
I was looking at my dad. My dad, you'll be fine. Yeah.
28.
28. I was 16. But like I said, our sport is so young and so fresh and so new that it wasn't like regulated as it is today. So that was crazy. I was 16. I was fighting like an adult.
Did they know and not tell you, or?
I don't know what happened, but it happened.
How'd it go?
And then I won in the second round by knockout.
Oh my God. What a feeling that must have been.
Yeah, that was amazing. So that went like a tornado through kickboxing. We're like, yo, we got this guy. He's 16, he's 100 kilos, and he's amazing.
He just knocked out a 28.
And I was like, wow, okay. Maybe I can do this. And then I keep doing fights, I keep winning and getting all these compliments, and I think, hey, maybe we got this. So because I was like 9 and I saw Peter Arts become kickboxing world champion for the 3rd time in his career in, 98. I thought, hey, this is something I would inspire to be.
Yeah.
And then finally doing all those things and getting all that confirmation from all those people, I was like, hey, maybe that dream is closer than I actually thought. So that's how we kept on going. And we got closer and closer, and finally turning.
And now you're the greatest of all time. Are you comfortable? Are you
you.
comfortable with that? I mean, there's
no.
You're not comfortable
not.
with that. The resume. Yeah, it's not even like a hot take. It's like just look at the resume.
Yeah.
There's no one that comes close.
No. Yeah. It's I appreciate the compliment. Like I said, it's up to other people to give me that than telling me, oh, I'm the greatest of all time. But I'm so proud of everything that we've accomplished as a team, because that is what it is. Of course, it's me in the ring, but being Rico that I am in the ring takes so many people.
The length of your run, like the way you've been able to sustain this dominance, is the most impressive thing to me, because usually someone will slip, or they'll lose motivation, or they'll get hurt in a fight. That to me is something that I don't know if we'll ever see again. Like you never see this type of
but that is definitely something that my dad gave me, like, because it's definitely not motivation. You don't need you need motivation once. So you need motivation to start. And as soon as you start it, after that, it turns into discipline. So just keep doing it.
Because I was going to push back on you and say, like, sometimes people say, well, it's like the thing that John kept talking about with Tom, like, oh, he doesn't motivate me, he's not a big name, this and that. So sometimes you're fighting guys who are well beneath you.
Exactly.
So you don't need motivation to fight them?
No, because at a certain moment, and at the beginning, I had that, like, oh, this guy motivates me. And at a certain moment, like, why do I have that? I said, I don't need that. The motivation or like I said, the discipline should be like, I should look in the mirror and be a better version of me every time. So instead of, like, for me now, I'm not chasing belts anymore. I'm chasing cool moments in things that haven't been done before in the fighting game. That's what I'm chasing now. So not like, oh, I need to be motivated because I'm fighting this person or I'm fighting that person. No, be the best version of me and do stuff that hasn't been done before. Just think of the craziest ideas and bring combat sports and fighting to a whole new level.
Okay, so when you talk about cool moments, now all of a sudden my mind goes to one place. You know this. It goes to Francis.
But yeah, definitely.
Where are we at with this? Because I threw it out pie in the sky after his last fight.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to like think of something. But then my understanding is like it started to develop a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. So I actually was with his trainer, Eric, this morning.
This morning.
Yeah, this morning.
At the gym.
Yeah.
You were training with him.
Yeah, we were training. We did some groundwork.
Whoa.
We did.
I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing for the fight.
Why not? It's like, yeah, we're close. We've been close for years.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I know Francis as well.
Yes.
So
Oh,
I said, but
did you talk about it?
of course.
Okay,
I
yeah.
said, but let's think like outside the box. What hasn't been done before? The ultimate challenge. One opponent, 3 fights, 3 disciplines.
Wow. MMA, boxing, kickboxing.
Exactly.
You're down to do MMA.
100%.
Wow.
So that is like something that
One night
haven't
or
seen-
over a series of nights?
well, I think one night is challenging.
Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure. I don't know how crazy you are. So over a I mean, I wouldn't put it past you.
I don't know how crazy you are.
You guys do one night fights and
Yeah,
one
we
night
did,
tournaments?
I did 3 fights in one night.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But to make it good and make it exciting and make it like a full camp, I think it's important to have like 3 different moments.
Okay, so this is your concept.
Yeah, I
You've
love
now
it.
taken my pie in the sky idea and you've made it even better and more intriguing. How do we actually make this into a reality?
Get the like I
Are
think
Glory
I wanted to say get the right opponent, but I think we have the right opponent.
You have the guy, and there's no one for him to fight in MMA.
No, so that is like we got to find the right organization, the right person to organize it and make
Glory's
it happen.
interested.
Glory's interested.
Is PFL
the
interested?
I think so.
Yeah.
And Saudi's interested. So I think there's a lot of things that might happen and just change like combat sports in general.
Yeah. Well, would you have any preference? Which one's first?
No, like make it exciting.
Yeah.
Make it exciting. So if you think about it, like, because for me thinking about this whole concept is like, all right. So for example, we're driving in a car and you're driving on the highway. Why pick a lane? Why pick one lane?
Yeah.
When you can own the whole highway. you can do all 3. Why not? Let's just do all 3. But just, of course, it's like separate nights. But like,
it would be incredible.
Yeah,
it would be a spectacle. It'd be huge for both of you. It'd be huge for kickboxing, for Glory, for PFL, for everyone.
Yeah, for like I said, combat sports
We have
in general.
to figure this out.
And that is something.
Do you know if he's interested? Did Eric say?
Eric said, like, "Oh wow, this is an amazing idea. I love it." And he said it as well. They talked about different opponents. Of course, they also talked about Wilder. But like now, said like, "Hey, this is something that could be fun."
Could it be your next one? Is it possible, or do we need a little more time?
I don't know. It depends on like how fast things are gonna get picked up.
Right.
If somebody says like, "Yo, I want this and I want this real fast," let's go. I'm like I said, I'm down. Like I've done it all. I've done it all, and yeah, let's create moments let's create moments and things that haven't been done before.
Yeah.
And that's what gets me
Yeah,
the
of course.
goosebumps and just gets me excited.
Do you want to fight again this year, regardless? Are you hoping to fight again this year?
100%.
Probably.
But like I said, there's so many things there. We're doing movies, we're fighting, and it's like I said, it's such an amazing time. And like you said, like if you look at Instagram, it looks amazing, and everything is amazing. But it is so much, and I'm literally living the dream.
Wow.
I'm so much
beyond your wildest
I'm
expectations.
enjoying myself, and that I got the chance and the opportunity to use combat sports to get into the next step. Because being an athlete and being a world champion comes with an expiry date. and what are you gonna do next? So, yes, as a young kid, the dream was to become an actor. Or, well, I saw movies, and I'm an amazing movie freak, so I was like, yeah, that could be cool. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like, why not use then, if that dreams becomes reality, that I ever become kickboxing world champion, why not use that as a stepping stone for, the next thing? And that's entertainment, acting. And then finally got the chance.
Den of Thieves.
And I got to be really honest, I found my new passion.
You loved it.
Of course, it's like, it looks nice, but when you finally do it, is it that nice that you created in your head? And yes, it is. It's long days, long nights, but it's so much fun.
I love
so
it.
much fun.
It's great to see you so happy and all the success that you're having. We need to figure this out. We need to figure out this
We're gonna
Francis
make
fight.
it. We're not have to figure it out. We're gonna make it happen.
We're gonna
That's
make
what
it
we're
happen.
gonna
Oh
do.
my gosh. I need to be there for that.
100%.
It was I can't even believe it's become this 3-fight thing. I love the 3-fight thing.
Yeah, and like I said, it hasn't been done before. I haven't seen it because the boxers they never use their legs, so they're never gonna do like an MMA or a kickboxing fight because as soon as you kick their legs, they don't know what happened with them.
You need to get in on this. If the Francis thing even doesn't work out, like you need to get in on one of these like
we
super
gotta
fights.
find somebody.
Yes.
That would be open to it.
Wilder, by the way, he's fighting tonight. He's coming back. That would be a crazy one.
That
You
would
versus
also be
him.
a crazy one. And what's his name? Big Baby Miller.
Big Baby what?
He was in Glory.
He was in Glory.
He was in
Yes, I
Glory.
remember this. Yes.
So
He talks a lot of smack.
yeah.
Yes. Yes, he's a crazy,
he
crazy
talks
guy.
a lot of smack. So
He's a crazy dude.
So that could also be. So there's so many things that are, and so many opponents, but like you just gotta find the right one and get him ready.
We have this poker table here. You see this with my name on it, and
Yeah,
we're
I love
asking
it.
all the people who are stopping by to sign, and then we're going to auction it off to Ben Askren's family
Wow.
to give all the
Amazing.
You know, Ben is going through a tough time
Yeah.
right now. So if you don't mind signing,
Of course not.
I would
Of course. I love
appreciate
it.
it.
I love it.
You're the
Let's do it.
freaking man, Rico. Thank you so much for coming
your
by.
time, Ariel.
Are you going to the UFC tomorrow?
Yeah.
You're going to be there.
Of course.
Are you going to talk to the UFC brass?
Who knows?
You're open for anything.
I'm open.
Wow.
So let's see.
When's the last time you were at a UFC?
That's a good question. I think it was McGregor Cerrone was the last I was here. It was also
January of 2020. That was the last time.
Yeah, I think so.
Right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Why were you here? Just like that?
yeah, of course. Yeah, I
Okay.
was here for the fight.
Wow.
So I was.
Did you ever meet Dana White and those guys?
No.
Okay.
So I was in where was I? I was in Los Angeles, doing all my connection stuff and the movie things. And I knew the fight, and of course I'm with Paradigm.
Yeah.
And Connor's with Paradigm, so I was like, yeah, come over to the fight. Yeah, why not? Let's go. So
Brilliant.
me and my best friend, we went there, have fun, and now we're back again. So many
Okay.
years later. So
maybe
happy to
you'll
be
have
here.
a chat. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. If you don't mind, thank you. I think your buddy's over there as well.
Yeah, there he is.
No iron gut challenges here.
No.
I don't want to. We don't have the right kind of insurance.
But since he's the undisputed champion, I haven't seen him yet. So
So bring him in. Bring him in. Connor, bring him in. This is your first time getting to congratulate him.
Yeah. Of course, we
Of
called.
course.
Of
This
course
is
we
big.
called.
He wanted
There
to
he is.
congratulate you.
There he is, Tom
Yeah,
Aspinall, the
Tommy
undisputed
Aspinall,
heavyweight.
Aspinall, Tommy Aspinall. Oh, nah. This is it. This is the first time he gets to see you as undisputed champion.
First time I'm seeing him after his defense as well.
Yeah.
We just trained together a few
Look
weeks ago.
at the magic we're making.
How's it going?
Good to see you.
Tommy, thank you
Beautiful
so
place
much.
you got over
Thank
there.
you so much.
Beautiful place. Oh, I'm taking the big seat.
You're taking a big seat here.
I warmed it up for
Thanks,
you.
bro. Can I drink as well?
Please.
I'm thirsty.
Don't forget to sign, Rico.
I'm gonna sign before I leave.
Please.
Ariel, I gotta tell you, you're such a amazing person always.
Thank
but
you.
the way you put just combat sports in general
Thank you.
on the map in the world, I love it. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
That
doing
means a
that
lot to
because
me.
we need more people like
Yes.
you. Just to keep
I want to
combat
go to a
sports
glory
at the-
event in the Netherlands. That's
Yes,
a dream
sir.
of mine.
Yes, sir.
So
Thank you so much.
thank you, Rico. You're the man. Thank you so much. If you don't
gonna
mind,
sign it.
yes,
Enjoy.
we will
Have
sign.
fun.
Catch you later.
Wow, here he is. Look at this. The two best heavyweights in the world.
The boys from Europe.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
Oh, I was talking about myself and
Oh, come
GC
on.
over there in the what is this? Oh, is this from you?
That's for me.
Wow. You tried these, Rico?
I don't think Rico's tried him.
These are the
This is my good shit. Toothpicks.
toothpicks, flavored toothpick.
You told me about it.
You not tried them?
I want to try. Can I try one right now?
Of course.
Rico,
Feel
me
free.
and you. Amazing. Ooh, look at this. Big berry. Here you go, Rico. Try a flavored big berry toothpick. So you're just supposed to like chill.
You just chill. And now they've actually got like vitamin ones coming out, so you don't have to take pills and you just put the toothpick in. I think it's good.
I love it.
Good idea.
I love it. Shout out to them. Big berry flavor punch.
Thanks.
no problem. Thank you,
All right, man.
Rico. All
Catch
the
you
best
later.
to you.
See you later,
Wow,
bro.
this is good. I can't believe it.
We
Here
are
it
in.
is.
It's very hot in this room.
Yeah,
What's going
I
on?
put it. You want it lower?
Yeah, put it lower. We start sweating in this place.
I like to
Jeez.
put it at 75.
75.
We're about to get sexy here, Tom. One second. Here we go. What do you want? 72?
I don't know because I don't work on US Fahrenheit stuff. I only work on the UK one.
I can't believe it. You know,
It's nice to see you.
Tom. Yesterday, Izzy, Volk, Hangman, Rosas, Rico, DJ, but it all you're the final guest.
No, Andy's
well,
the big
Aspinalls,
boss is the final guest.
And he truly is. But it is so. I can't believe you're here. Truly, you know why I can't believe you're here? Because like we've been talking about doing this, and then you're like, yes, we're going to get the big interview, and then I see you with Diary of CEO, and okay, we'll get one more, and then I'll see you with ESPN. Oh, one more, and then I'll see you on Piers. So it's nice that you actually made time for the little people.
Though. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. We made it actually. We actually had a terrible journey. It took us 32 hours to get here.
Why?
First of all, let me start off by saying British Airways.
Shite.
Okay. Boycott British Airways.
Really?
Terrible.
That bad?
Terrible. First class seats. Made it to the gate. So originally we were flying Manchester to London, London direct to Vegas. That was the plan. The first flight was delayed from Manchester to London. Right?
Yep.
So anyway, we got there and we still had some time to spare. Rushed to the gate. The gate was still closed. Anyway, the gate opens. We go to scan the ticket. And the guy said, because our plane was delayed, even though we made it on time, they automatically cancelled us and put us on a flight the day after.
What?
There were like 20 people who were just cancelled. There were people there with kids who like saved up to go to Vegas like a once in a life. Like it doesn't matter for me really because I'm in Vegas like at least once a year. So it's pretty regular for me. But there were people there with kids. The kids were crying. They had to like move the flight to the next day. Then the next day, we flew to New York. We had a 6-hour layover in New York, and then we got to Vegas. So it was like a 32-hour thing. And there was they just said, that's just what the system does. So blamed it all on the system. Didn't take no accountability for it. Just cancelled our flights for no reason. We made it on time. Everything was good. Absolutely. So I'm being a bit of a Karen.
No, I know. It's all good. You're the champ.
I'm just complaining. I just want to put it out there. The champ is never flying with British Airways again.
Okay. What about back home?
I'm flying with Virgin.
You changed it.
No, it was Virgin.
It was
anyway.
always
It was
okay.
Virgin
All right,
anyway.
so
Yeah.
all
Big
good.
shout out to Virgin. I'm flying with them.
How has your time been in Vegas? All
Great.
good. Now
I love
as the
Vegas.
champ.
Vegas is actually my favorite city in the world. Love Vegas.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you ever want to live here?
I don't know because it's crazy. I like
Yeah.
going into the craziness and then out. Even now, I'm not staying on the strip or anything like that.
Okay,
I just
okay.
just dip in. And actually, this is my first. I've been here 2 days now. This is my first time coming into the strip since I've been here. I just stay away.
Are you going to the fight tomorrow?
I'm going to the fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to watch.
Just to watch.
Chat with the brass.
Yep.
Has the chat happened yet?
Nope.
When is the chat?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I have no idea.
What do you mean? This is like the crown jewel of the trip, right?
No.
What are they just going to call you? Come now?
Probably.
When do you think it happens?
Hopefully today.
Okay.
Today.
You'd
'cause
like
we're
for it to be today.
We're going to Slap tonight.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
You fan?
You know what? I don't agree with hitting someone else where they can't defend themselves. At least in MMA, boxing, kickboxing,
Sure.
etc. It's like an art form, and it's like you're expressing yourself through different techniques, putting yourself in different positions, etc., etc. Whereas slap, it's literally like, I don't know, like a dick measuring competition. So originally, no, but I actually went to an event in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Last time I was here, or the time before, and I actually quite enjoyed it. So I'm going again.
Okay. We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
It's so great to be talking to you and with you in person here. There's a million places to start, but maybe we should start last Saturday. It's around 7 p.m. Eastern time, which is midnight in England. and I'm actually talking in our group chat, and I'm like, guys, isn't it great? These European events, they end early for us. Isn't it wonderful? And then all of a sudden, actually, Connor writes in the chat, like, did you see what Dana just announced? So I look online, and I see he announces that John Jones is retired. Like 12 minutes into the press conference, after someone asked about, like, is there going to be a deadline? Where is Tom Aspinall when this announcement is made?
I was in bed getting ready to sleep.
So you're awake?
I was usually, so it was around about midnight-ish. Usually I wouldn't be awake. I'm usually asleep before then. That particular day, I had been for a meal with my wife and some friends. We got in a little bit late, not too late, like 10, 11. So I was just like took a shower, was ready to sleep, got in bed. My phone started ringing. I'm like, it was actually my media guy, Charlie, who called me. And I'm like, why is Charlie calling me at like midnight? What the hell's going on? So I answered it and I was like, what's up? Like I didn't even like say hello. By the way, if you front, maybe this will cross up. Like, you don't really greet someone in the UK by saying what's up. What's up is more like a question of, is everything okay?
Oh, really?
Like in the US, people say, oh, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? Yeah.
We don't really use that in the UK.
Okay.
What's up means like what's wrong. So I answered it and was like, what's wrong? What's up?
Yeah.
And he's like, Dana's just announced that you're the champion. I was like, what? No way. Anyway, we had a little chat, put the phone down. Hunter Campbell called me, literally as I put the phone down. And as he called, all I could hear was the press conference like going on in the background, like with Dana. And I thought, originally I thought that he'd like pocket dialed me by accident. Because I was like, hello? Like it was loud. Like it was like he was in the same room as Dana. And he just said, look, just let you know, we've announced that you're the champion. Congratulations. We'll talk more next week. Bye.
That was it?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
What is your reaction?
I mean, I was relieved. I was relieved that this is all over because I know you've backed me up on this a lot, and I appreciate it. I was never, ever, ever just chasing John Jones. And there was a lot of talk from people online and stuff, like there was a lot of comparisons to Chandler chasing McGregor. Chandler was chasing McGregor because he wanted a big fight and he wanted some money. Basically, that's what's happening there. I didn't care about a big fight or money. I cared about the heavyweight title. That's all I've ever been bothered about, is recognition for being the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth. That's all I ever wanted to do. So originally, I'm just like relieved that I can actually fight again. I think a lot of people don't understand that. Look, I do some stuff in the media. I've got a YouTube channel. I do stuff across social media. I've got great sponsors and everything. Like I do stuff in the media, obviously. But what my job is fighting people, and I haven't been able to do that for almost a year for no reason other than the politics of the UFC. So I'm happy just to be able to fight again.
So I called it shameful because, look, it seemed like we were getting to a point, you were saying it, he was hinting at it, that this wasn't happening. Yep. And so my thought was, you're going to be here in Las Vegas, it's International Fight Week, there's a ton of media, fans, do something before the press conference, before the event. I was at UFC 123 when Jose Aldo in Auburn Hills, Michigan was handed the featherweight title. I was at a press conference when Ronda Rousey was handed something to not soften the blow of the past year, but to make this seem like it's the heavyweight championship of the world. This is important. It's the new era. For it to happen like that in a sort of throwaway question felt very disappointing and deflating. Do you care about any of this, or is it really just I can move on now? There has to be some sort of like appreciation of the pomp and circumstance that it's like. Yeah.
I see where you're coming from. It isn't great, in all honesty, but for me, in like 3 months when I fight or whenever I fight, that's all going to be forgotten about anyway. Sure. Like the accolade is still there that I'm the heavyweight champion. I can still fight somebody. So that was my focus. Yeah, it would have been definitely nice to get my flowers a little bit more, but I can do that in the octagon anyway. Me personally, I'm not too bothered. I can see where like yourself and other people are coming from. Like that's a bit of a shitty way to do it.
Your father as well.
Yeah, my dad was the same.
He called it pathetic.
Yeah, and I can see where you guys are coming from. But for me personally, I'm just like so focused on what I got to do, which is fight somebody. And that's all I really care about.
And so you could probably also acknowledge that this has benefited you, even though it's been frustrating. You can now sit here and say, I believe you retired John Jones. You could sit here and say, I retired John Jones. And you did say last summer,
Yeah, I did.
he will never fight me, and he will choose to retire instead of fighting me. So that is a feather in your cap.
Again, I see what you mean, but that's like ego talking.
Your presence made one of the greatest fighters of all time say, I'm not fighting anymore.
It is.
If you were a 42-year-old former champion who was sitting there, he probably is fighting.
Yeah, I think so.
In fact, he was campaigning to fight Francis Ngannou not that long ago.
Or Alex.
Yeah. So that's a feather.
It's a compliment.
Yes.
It's a
compliment. Are you taking it as such?
I guess so, yeah. But again, that's like my ego talking. So I'm like, whatever. I'm like done with that now, and I'm ready to move on, to be honest. Yeah, I know that's I don't know, like I've been talking about John Jones.
I know.
I was happy to talk about John Jones to get the fight. And now the fight's not there. I'm just like, let's just move on.
I get it. Now, when did you start to believe it wasn't happening?
Few weeks ago, maybe. When everybody seemed to think that John was like playing this game of let's make Tom not think I'm giving him the fight, and then I'm just going to spring it on him. But the MMA community at the highest level is a pretty small world, and I know people who've been out in Thailand at similar times that he was there. I know people who are around his circle, and I know that from the behaviour that he's doing outside the octagon, that he's not going to fight anytime soon.
Okay. So that's when you started to feel like when you met with the brass in London in March, when you told us you had the big meeting and there was the photo with you, your father, Hunter Campbell. Yeah. In that moment, did you believe it was happening?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah. And the UFC always... See, I honestly think I've got to be one of the easiest people for the UFC to ever work with. Because... And that's not me, like, blowing my own trumpet. Everything they tell me, I do. I never do anything like... They just told me for a year, be ready... Stay fit, stay in shape, be ready for a date, be ready for a contract. And that's what I've done for the last year. I've not done nothing else. I've took like no vacations. I'm not taking no days off. I'm looking after my diet. I'm doing my recovery. I'm doing the sparring. I'm doing the strength and conditioning. I'm learning new techniques. I'm doing everything that a professional fighter at the elite level should be doing to get ready for a fight. So that's all I've done for like the last 10 months or whatever it's been. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange situation, to be honest, but I'm so glad now that it's just done and I can move on.
And I appreciate that, and that's probably your cue to be like, let's move on. But there's still a few things.
I know that you're going to question me.
Well, no, because even today, even like 2 hours ago, he's still tweeting about it.
Oh, is he? I don't know.
Yeah, and he said that I told them 1,000 times.
Yeah.
I told them 1,000 times my plan, and they kept telling me like, hey, reconsider. And so while I understand you're a good partner and you want to be a good friend, I do wonder how much of the blame you put. Like, this could have been resolved probably. I reported a few months ago that he asked for a number.
Yeah.
They got him the number. I believe Saudi Arabia was involved in that process. He said he was in, and then he said he was out. And Dana White confirmed this last week. He said he was in, he said he was out. At some point, though, they could have moved on. Mm-hmm. And my theory was they were only going to move on when they had to move on, when they had to make a decision. Yeah. And they wanted you to fight in November. And so I'm just saying, I was always saying that the UFC isn't to blame because they got him what he asked for. Yeah. But then at some point...
They got to move it.
Yes. So do you put any sort of blame on the promotion?
I think you've got to be able to see John's point of view. I don't know. It's difficult to say because I don't know anybody else's business and I don't claim to know anybody else's business. It's just like, I know what they told me. What the UFC are doing and what John's doing is literally nothing to do with me. They told me to be ready. I was ready. They told me I've got this much time. I was preparing myself for that, and that's literally all I can do. The money and all that stuff, and that's got nothing to do with me.
I understand
so I
that.
don't really.
And I know you hate talking about this stuff. And
I don't know who's to blame, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's done. It's done. And I don't want to treat you like a regular journalist because I feel like me and you have a good relationship, and I would consider you a friend. So I don't want to cut you off and be like, Ariel, we're not talking about it. We'll move on. We'll leave it there and just give you like dead answers. But I'm just like done. With the whole saga.
I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, can I ask you one thing as a fighter? I was just talking to DJ about it.
DJ was here today.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He was here like an hour ago.
Are you not like all talked out after talking to people for so long?
This is the culminate. This is my life.
Okay.
I could do this for 8 hours.
Got it.
This is what I wake up for.
You got stamina.
You wake up for sparring and fighting. This is my UFC 300. My theory is you cannot be considered the greatest of all time if you have PED infractions and if you don't fight the top guys. And so I believe George St. Pierre, and I know you love George, is the greatest of all time. As a result, he fought everyone, and when he couldn't fight, he dropped the belt right away.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
GSP is my greatest of all time. It goes without saying. Like, he has done everything. Like you say, two division champion. Also relinquished both of his losses. 0 PED stuff. And I think, I'm not getting at John here, I'm getting at anyone who's failed a PED test. If you're so this is my view on PEDs, personally. If you're a sprinter, for example, you do 100 meters, and you take PEDs, and you win a race, you become faster than people who are not taking PEDs from that. That's okay. You're a cheat, you've won, they'll take your title off you or whatever, that's fine. If your job is to hurt another person, physically hurt another person, which could potentially redirect the rest of their life post-fighting, you're an absolute piece of shit and you should never be able to fight again if you have any PED stuff. Like, it's like taking a gun to a knife fight. Do you know what I mean? It's like taking a knife to a bare knuckle fight. Like, how can you look yourself in the mirror when you know that you're cheating and you could potentially damage the other person for life? Like, it's disgusting. And anybody who's caught doing any kind of PEDs, and I know there's some tainted supplements out there, but if you do it repeatedly,
multiple times,
the first time, if it's tainted supplement, whatever, they look into it, you're all good. Fair enough. But if you're talking 2, 3, 4, 5 times and they're still letting you fight in a promotion, you're a pretty sick individual, in my opinion. It shouldn't be allowed. Or you do it the other way and you go, listen, no testing. Anyone can take what they want. And I think that there's a place for that as well. There's other organisations that don't test at all. If you want to do that, go and do that over there. But if you're in the UFC fighting the elite and you're failing multiple drug tests, and I'm not talking about John Jones in particular, I'm talking about anybody who's failed multiple PED tests, just because of the nature of the sport and how dangerous it is, I think it's disgusting.
Can I tell you one of the things that was so frustrating about all this? And by the way, for anyone who thinks that like you're putting on a front here by saying like, oh, it was never about John Jones, these are the exact same things that you would say
for 2 years.
But you would say it in private as well.
Yeah.
Even when I would say like, did you see this? What do you think of this? You have been consistent.
Yeah.
And so when he would try to make it into a thing like you're obsessed with him, and I would always say like, how many more times does the guy have to say he doesn't really care? It would be a nice cherry on top, but he wants the belt. When he would try to make this narrative that you're an asshole, that you haven't been going about it the right way, when you're literally being like, John, I like you, I just want to fight you, all good. It was that attempt, when he was trying to say like, this isn't a fight that interests me or you haven't done anything to deserve it. You look at your resume, you can make a very strong case that this would be the biggest fight on his resume since DC2 in 2017.
Maybe, yeah.
With all due respect to Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos and Dominic Reyes and even Cyril and Stipe, Dana himself said it was the biggest heavyweight fight of all time. Yeah. So there were a lot of attempts, I think, to make you into the bad guy or to change the narrative, which I think ultimately have now fallen on deaf ears. So I know you don't like to like weigh in on all this stuff or let it seep into your psyche, but in the end, it's the best case scenario other than fighting him. How this all played out in your favor, I would say best case scenario other than fighting him.
I mean, I guess, but you know what? I think that, see, for me, the second that I won the interim title, I think that a lot of people looked at me a little bit different to a regular interim champion, in my opinion.
You should have been the undisputed champion that night.
Yeah, that's what I think, just because of the politics around it and the way that things happened. But for me, I was always a champion anyway, interim or not, in my opinion, in my own view. But I would have liked to have taken it from the other champion, as in a fight. That would have been nice. But I guess it's worked out pretty good anyway, I guess. If it's difficult because for me, it's really, really simple. And like you said, people, they always want to ask me about John Jones and stuff. And this very interview right now will be the last time I speak about it. I'm never going to speak to it
You're done.
again. I'm done with it. Anybody who asks me moving forward will get completely shut down about it. I'm not going to speak about it again.
Okay.
But like from here, like I just want to be done with it. I just want to move on. But I did want to fight him for it. I think that would have been the right thing to do.
How do you think it would have gone? Could I ask?
Me and John?
Yeah.
I'm the ultimate MMA nerd. I love MMA. I absolutely love MMA. I live and breathe for MMA. I've trained since I was 10 years old, 32 years old. Everything that I do in my life is centered around me being the best version of myself that I can be. Other things aside, the title, who John is, all the hype around it, all the money and all that kind of stuff, I legit wanted to find out how my style would get on with it. One of the greats like John Jones. I legit wanted to test my skills against his skills in a combat situation. But if you're going to ask me how I think I would have got on, after watching his last performance, I would favour myself, to be honest.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I would.
In what way? Submission, knockout?
Well, there's a lot of facets to my game that a lot of people haven't seen, which is great. That's the biggest advantage I've got in my game, is the fact that there's so many question marks about me. And I absolutely love it. That's one of my favourite things about where I'm at right now. Another thing is, I have the best heavyweight team in the world, in my opinion.
100%.
Some of the best heavyweights and light heavyweights in the world train with us now. Now our group is really tight. It's a tight-knit group of people who know what I'm all about, and that's amazing. Outside of that circle, nobody really knows me. I'm not going down to the PI all the time. I'm not training in ATT and these really popular gyms where everyone has access to me. We put stuff out on YouTube, but it's all censored.
Yeah.
I'm not putting that stuff out there about my actual game. So I am this massive mystery to everybody, and nobody knows anything about me really, apart from, a couple of minutes here and there in the octagon, which is one of the biggest advantages I've got.
Can I ask you about that word undisputed?
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself the undisputed champion now? Because John didn't beat Francis, and unfortunately you didn't beat John.
Yeah.
So can you still carry yourself? Do you believe you're the undisputed champion?
I don't know. I see a lot of people, and they're always like, "Oh, the belt only counts when you defend it, or whatever." What a lot of bullshit! Like, if you got the belt, you're the champion. Simple as that for me. Would I like to fight for it? I would have loved to have fought for it. I didn't have the opportunity to fight for it, unfortunately. So yeah, I do consider myself the undisputed champion. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean, I am the undisputed champion.
Sure. I just didn't know if you subscribe to that notion that you talked about, or I need to beat the guy to beat the guy, or so we were having this debate a couple of days ago. The next one, if it is in fact against Cyril, some might say, okay, John beat him in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. They're going to compare your performance. Do you think like that? Do you need to be?
No, I don't think like that.
Okay.
No, it's not important to me. I got to beat the guy who's in front of me. That's it. Nothing else is. All the other stuff, it's pretty irrelevant to what I'm doing.
Because of all the drama of this past year, because there's going to be a huge spotlight. I mean, arguably, when you fight, it will be the biggest fight of 2025.
I don't know about that. There's some big fights coming up.
Man, but you have been the story. This has been a saga that has gone on since November 18th of last year, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Does it feel like you need to prove a point? Do you have to remind people that you were worthy of all this talk? Do you think of any of those things? Do you put that pressure on yourself?
I do a little bit. It's in there somewhere, but ultimately, I just got to do my thing. I'm the best heavyweight in the world. I got to prove it. And one of the massive advantages I've had is that I haven't been in camp. I've been training consistently every day for a year, nearly. But I haven't been in camp, which any fighter will know, that when you're in camp, you got like 8, 12, 6, whatever you do training camp, and you've got that time to prepare for a specific opponent. Whereas with me, because I never signed a contract, I always thought I was going to fight John Jones, but I didn't know. I've just been consistently training just to get better. And the improvements I've made over the last 10, 11, 12 months, it's like unprecedented to any other improvement that I've made in my career. So I think that now I've added so much to my game that people just have no idea what they're up against, even more so than they did like this time last year. Right. So this is good. These are really good advantages for me.
By the way, at any point did they call you up and say, like, hey, like, we've got a fight. If you want to headline this show, you can defend your interest. Like, did they even cross that bridge with you at all, or was it always just
they contracted to
the 3 fights, right?
No.
But
the way that they were like, you can fight somebody else, but we'd rather you didn't.
Okay. So they were on board with you.
They really wanted me to fight John.
Yeah.
So, just some other stuff going on. Like, I don't really like talking about money and that publicly, but the fight I wanted the biggest fight, and I wanted the fight for the title. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was chasing the whole time. So I just wanted to go for that.
I have heard you say 2 fights in 25.
Yes.
But realistically, like, if the first one's in October, it's very rare that they give another.
It is rare. It is, but I'm here to set the records.
Have they told you we're going to make this right by you? We're going to try to make this happen.
I'm going to tell them.
Okay. In the meeting. Can I come to the meeting?
I don't know if you
Can
want,
I be there?
If you want. No, I don't know what I'm going to do, but
All you need is Andy, by the way. I can't wait for that.
Andy's what's the word? Shrewd. Is
Yes,
that right? He's a shrewd businessman, so he can get stuff done.
So is that the hope? October, December?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. I mean, things can happen in MMA, as we know. I might get injured. Somebody else might get injured. Whatever.
No, I was just wondering. Sooner is impossible because everything's booked.
Everything's booked. That's the biggest issue that we're dealing with.
There's 2 pay-per-views in October. Do you have a preference?
5th and 25th. Is that correct?
Vegas and Abu Dhabi.
Yeah,
Do you have a preference?
I
think 26.
Earlier would be better, of course.
Okay.
Because I'm ready to fight.
Yeah, get it over with. Yeah.
Well, I ain't getting it over with.
Well, I just mean like you want to get on.
I'm going to go and enjoy myself.
Yes,
I ain't
of course.
I'm
Yes,
going to get it over with. I'm going to be loving everything about it. See, the issue is with Vegas in particular, as I mentioned at the top of the interview, Vegas is my favorite city in the world.
Yeah.
Love Vegas. The problem is, it's on the other side of the world for me.
Yeah.
It's an 8-hour time difference, and that takes preparation. Also, if I'm fighting in Abu Dhabi, we're talking way less tax, first of all, so it's better for me financially.
Even with Vegas, no state tax here.
Yeah, but you still have to pay American tax.
Okay, yeah.
And also, it's a 3-hour time difference from the UK, which works a lot better in my favour. But I would want to fight earlier. So ultimately, I do what I'm told. I'm just...
Is there any chance MSG? They say, oh, it's
MSG in November.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait till November.
Yeah.
I want to fight as early as possible. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I could be ready to go this weekend if they wanted me to.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather not. I just ate a big dirty fries and stuff last night. I would rather not, but
you could. Like, you seem to be in incredible shape.
I'm in shape. I've been sparring. I've been doing all kinds. I'm really lucky because just talking about the team again, just going back to that, we set up. We got a few guys. Not a few guys. We've got maybe 8 to 10 guys, heavyweights, who are with us all the time, and then other guys fly in for their camps now from other places in the world. So I can't. Unless I want to get my ass kicked on a regular basis, which isn't great, I got to stay ready to spar these guys at all times. Like, guys are flying in for the camps from everywhere, from all parts of the world, and I have one of the best training partners, one of my closest training partners now. He's just got signed to the UFC.
Ante
Hillier.
Yeah,
he is a former PFL champion. He's just recently signed to the UFC, and he's essentially moved over from Croatia to train with us full time, and he has brought me on so much in the last year that. And he's going to be doing big stuff in the UFC himself, so it's going to be good.
What happens? There's a few of you.
So we now have me. You got to remember the UFC heavyweight division is very shallow in comparison to other divisions. There's me, Mick, Ante, and Martin Boudet, who's ranked as well.
Yep.
Or maybe just outside the rankings. So there's if Ante wins his first fight, I can't reveal his fight right here, but he's fighting someone in the top 10. Straight away.
Yeah.
So if he wins his fight, he's probably going to be in the top 10. We're going to have 4 ranked heavyweights out the top 15 in the gym training together.
So what happens?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You're good buddies with these guys.
Yeah, so I've got a rule. Do you want to know my rule?
Yes.
If somebody comes to my house, I'm never going to fight them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And have they all been to your house?
They've all been to my house.
Gosh.
Yeah. So my home is very precious to me.
Yeah.
That's I believe your home is like your little part of the world.
Sure.
So if I invite someone to my home, that means that I trust them 100%. Not anybody can just walk up to my door and come in. I don't trust people like that. So if someone's invited into my home with my family, I trust them 100%. And if I'm going to fight somebody and I've got bad intentions, I can't do that to someone who's been in my home.
Right.
That's my rule.
I respect it. And those guys are doing great. And I even saw, we had Rico. I was just talking to him.
Rico's my good friend as well. He's my training partner for a long time.
This is something people need to know about you. You have... the kids say I'm glazing. You know what that means?
Of course I do.
They're glazing.
Yeah.
I'm not glazing. I'm telling it like it is because I have the privilege of interacting with so many of you guys over the years. I ask you to come do this.
Yep.
The first thing you say is, hey, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but Rico's in town too if you want to talk to him. He had already been booked.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That just speaks to who you are as a person. You keep wanting to talk about your team. By the way, we didn't talk about Phil DeFries.
Phil DeFries, legend. He's got another fight coming up as well.
Already?
Which is great. Already,
He just fought.
I don't know if I can announce that.
Okay,
Apologies if I did.
But it just speaks to, and you always tell me hey, Phil, like show him some love.
Yeah.
You're always looking out for others, which I appreciate. And people need to know that. Not a lot of people do that. I saw you and Rico do this thing where you're punching each other in the stomach.
Yeah, Rico's crazy, man.
Yeah, what is that?
Rico's one of them guys who like acts normal, but he's absolutely insane. Yeah. You know one of them type of guys.
Yes.
He comes across really normal, but
his hair
he's insane.
Is coiffed to the side. He looks
fantastic.
Like a choir
yeah,
boy.
He looks fantastic. The guy is absolute machine. And you got to remember, like, I'm at the top level now, but when me and Rico started training together, which is like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Fury, right? Fury camp?
Yeah, we met in the Fury camp, yeah. I was a nobody. And Rico has always been amazing to me. Absolute inspiration. The things that Rico does, even though we're in different sports, I try and take that on myself, which is just the way he acts outside the ring, his day-to-day habits, the way he lives, and Rico's an awesome guy. So, and I think someone else who doesn't get enough love is his coach, Dennis. Like, he is my coach as well. Me and Rico are like, we're essentially from the same team. Like, even though we're in different sports, we kind of swap ideas. We go there, they come to us and stuff like that. Dennis is like a family friend of ours as well. He works closely with my dad, and Dennis is like the mind behind Rico as well. So Dennis isn't a guy who loves the media. You won't catch Dennis on the interviews or anything like that, but he's a serious mind when it comes to combat sports as well.
That thing where he's punching you in the stomach.
Yeah.
And like I don't know if you saw the video, he had this meter.
Yeah.
And you guys are going at like 25% and then 35%. How much does that hurt?
Well, that day, you got to remember, me and Rico have been sparring together for a long time.
Yeah.
That day, I think we did. We just sparred that day.
Yeah, so it looked like you did. You were all sweaty.
We were already punching each other for like maybe 8 rounds
before that.
But
you're just standing there and you can't block it.
I know. I don't know. Rico's a crazy person.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love.
He pitched us this idea. So I first came up with the idea of him fighting Francis.
Yeah.
And then he said, let's take it another level. Let's do 3 fights, MMA, boxing, kickboxing, spread out over a few months.
Yeah.
Pretty damn cool.
I like it. I like it a lot. I think.
What's the score at the end of that?
So they do MMA, boxing. See, the thing is with Rico, he's like such a big athletic guy, and he's so like in tune with his body, if that makes sense. He's been in combat sports his whole life, like me. I'm sure he could pick up grappling pretty quick. That being said, Francis has been grappling for a long time. I think it would definitely be 2-1.
Yeah.
To Rico.
He'd win the boxing.
Yeah.
And the kickboxing.
Yeah. I think so.
The boxing is like the ultimate.
I think I said to Rico, 50-50. I think that they should have a boxing fight with MMA gloves. I think that would be a good,
that would be a fun
good
one.
little hybrid.
Yes.
The thing with Rico that he struggles with, not that he struggles with, because the thing just that the world struggles with is he has totally eclipsed his sport.
Yeah.
Like
no one else.
There's no one even, not at the moment, there's no one close to him. Like, he is way bigger than the sport of kickboxing, which is a shame, because if Rico has done in MMA what he's done in kickboxing, he would be the ultimate megastar, which he is in like Holland and the areas where kickboxing is massive. The problem is globally kickboxing isn't that big, and that's no fault of Rico's. It's just the sport that he's in. But I think Rico's got a little bit more in the tank to do whatever he wants. He is like, I don't know, he should get what he deserves financially, and not only financially, but he should be respected, because he's the GOAT of kickboxing.
Has he been to your house?
Rico has not been to my house, but I've been to Rico's house. So that's equally...
I saw you guys eating together.
Yeah, that's equally as important.
Okay.
Like, for me, if someone invites me to the house, that's big stuff.
Okay.
Like I said to you before, if you're in Manchester, you're invited to my house.
Appreciate that.
That goes like a long way with me. I don't just bring anyone.
That means
into
a
my
lot.
house. So I've been to Rico's house. Rico looks after me every time I'm in Holland, so he's my friend. I would never fight him.
Greater chance of happening in your career before it's all said and done. Tom Aspinall versus Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
Tom Aspinall versus John Jones.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's so difficult to say, because if I sit here and say, John's done, I don't know John. So I don't know if he is done or not. I don't know if this is normal.
Izzy yesterday said he thinks he comes back.
Maybe Izzy knows him better than I do. I don't know John. I don't claim to know John. I know he's going through some demons right now, and I genuinely wish him the best of luck. Genuinely. I have no ill will towards him at all. I hope that everything's all right with his life.
Do you think he retired because of all this?
I don't know. I don't know why is that why they announced it early, in your opinion?
I thought so.
Yeah.
And then I asked the reporter who broke the news, and he said he was sitting there. He saw the news. It was a local reporter in New Mexico, and he said, "Oh, let me just take a look at the police records of the last few months, see if anything pops up." And there it was.
Oh,
Because
really?
it was in February, and somehow got
I wasn't
swept
sure
under
if
the
it was
rug.
like a prearranged question.
It seems crazy. No, I
you
don't.
don't think so?
I don't think so. But
Okay.
it's just an insane coincidence. Maybe the UFC thought it was coming and they were trying to get. I don't know. But the whole thing is very weird.
I don't know. They said that they spoke to him last night, so maybe it was just fresh on his mind, and he was just like, "I'm done with this shit. I'm just going to say it." Who knows, man? They knew that I was coming to Vegas this week, though, so I don't see why they didn't just wait. But that ain't my job, man. I'm just here to fight people. That's all.
By the way, I asked you about the time frame. If it was up to you, and don't just say anyone.
Oh yeah.
Who are you fighting?
You know, I know you said don't just say anybody, but I'm honestly
Come on, Tom!
I'm an easy guy. I'm an easy guy to get to fight somebody.
There's the history.
Cyril Gan's there.
There's Cyril or Jalton.
It's the biggest history. Oh, we can do Volkov too.
Volkov,
But that's a bit weird because he's coming off a loss.
Yeah.
Which I actually did think he won, to be fair.
It's Almeida. Almeida's actually, fair play to him. He's been pushing.
Yeah, man. I like it.
But you and Cyril have like a 2-year thing.
Yeah, probably longer.
Yeah.
You got to remember that so we got in the UFC around about the same time, I think. I think he maybe had 1 or 2 fights before me. And there was always talks about us fighting each other. I was chasing that fight when he was above me.
Yeah. I remember him saying he didn't want to fight back.
Yeah, he didn't want to fight. He said it on your bloody show.
Yeah.
That's why. I was watching that thinking, oh my God, this guy doesn't want it. Any of them. All of them. You know what I mean? I'm here to fight people, so anybody's good. Somebody wants to fight me. I like that, man. I love that.
You know, Almeida is interesting because of the ground game.
Yeah, I like it. Cool. Love it. Love it.
Those are the 2 fights, 2025.
Let's
the
do them
problem
both.
is you've been interim champ or had to work your way up. You fought a lot of the dudes already.
Yeah, I did.
There's not a lot of fresh blood.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd like to do? This is going to be tough because of the teammate thing.
Uh-oh.
I'd like to beat all of the top 10. That's what I'd like to do.
Okay, where are we at now?
I think I beat 6 now.
You beat 6. We have the rankings.
I beat about 6, I think, of
Okay.
the top 10.
Currently?
Yes. And all in the first round.
Jeez, that's crazy. Here it is. So Cyril, you haven't.
No, Volkov I did.
Yep. Pavlovich you
I
did.
did.
Blades you did.
Blades
Almeida 2 no.
Oh, there's even like people sneaking in now. Tibura I did. Spivak I did. Tuivasa, Derek Lewis, Waldo, Cortez, Acosta I didn't. And
All right, so you got some work
yeah,
there.
they've got some work to do.
But
yeah.
a lot of these, like, you know, some of them are on losing streaks. I don't know if they ever get to you.
It's a tricky situation, isn't it? I understand.
The heavyweight division is not. It's not the glory days of the heavyweight division at the
moment.
moment.
Right now, but I have faith. Let's make heavyweight great again.
Are there any dudes that you see like who are 1-0 in the UFC who are coming up that you're like, okay,
I don't keep track, to be honest with you.
Not like that.
No, not anymore. I don't.
What about Alex? That's the biggest one.
Alex
Pereira.
Oh yeah, it's good. That's cool.
You see him on the scale. He was like 243.
Yeah, but I think that's pretty regular though. It's pretty normal, no?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think I don't know Alex again. I don't know him at all. If I just lost the way he did, I would want to go get that one back. But I don't know Alex. Maybe
did they ever try to make it even last year?
No, not really. No.
You
not to my knowledge.
You guys were kind of flirting with each other.
I quite like flirting with ideas. Online flirting's my.
There was some. I don't know how much of that was just like for fun or real.
Well, there was that picture someone took a picture of, like me staring at him. But I do that with all the fighters. It's not just Alex. I like fighter psychology, so I like to look how they're looking right before they step in the octagon. That's interesting for me. I believe Coach Andy is coming in.
Listen,
I'm just going to sit back and let him talk.
You're the second most talked about Aspinall in the world right now.
Headlines.
Let's say hello to the most talked about Aspinall in the world right now. Here he is, the man himself, Mr. Aspinall. How are you, sir? It's good to see you. I've been looking forward to this. Please have a seat. I said to your son that he's the second most talked about Aspinall in the world right now. You're the first.
Really?
Yes. By the way, I love this Las Vegas Andy Aspinall look with the shorts, and it's a very chilled look.
Yes.
All you're missing is like one of those hats and like the big drink. You know,
the one with the drink attached.
Yeah.
Love it.
If you don't mind just talking into the, don't be shy. I know you're not shy, Andy.
No, I'm not shy, no.
Yeah, come in. Frank, you hear him okay?
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're working through it. By the way, look at this gear.
Champion.
Sold out, mate. You can't get it anymore. The heavyweight range is sold out. Yeah.
It's sold out.
Gone
Yesterday.
Worldwide or in America?
Worldwide. It's now available though on the US stores. So if you want to buy it, you can head over there. It's beautiful stuff. Do you not think?
It's incredible.
I know you love the champion stuff.
Well, I couldn't help but notice. I think you did an interview yesterday with ESPN, and you were gifting stuff.
That was the last one, mate. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
We did try.
Even Connor tried to buy up the website.
No, we sent it to the offices. Don't worry.
Okay,
Yeah, it's coming.
Thank
It's coming
you.
your way.
Appreciate that. How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you. Yep.
Well, I'm not PT
Oh,
Carroll, your favorite media member, but this will have to do.
We talk.
No, I know, but I know PT's number one on your pound for pound list, as he should be.
Yep.
He's the man.
Yep.
You made your opinions known. I was just wondering, did he call you up afterwards after this?
Yeah.
And what did your son say to you when this article came out?
He was all right.
He was okay with it.
I can only be honest.
Sure.
If somebody asks me a question, I'm probably old enough and wise enough to just give an answer. And if people don't like the answer, they don't like the answer.
Right.
It is what it is.
There's only a certain amount of shits you can give. And I think that when you're 62 years old, how many knee surgeries you had, Dad?
24 knee surgeries.
Is that true?
Quadruple bypass. Quadruple heart bypass.
Wow.
2 neck surgeries. Tom did most of them.
Nah, that's a lie.
He's responsible for
That's a lie.
Quadruple bypass. When was that?
2018. Didn't know, just had pains.
Wow.
I think you should tell him the full story about the way that you had a heart attack. It's fantastic.
Tell us.
I just was getting pains in my chest when I was grappling. So he stood me up against a wall, pushing on my chest, because I was in a match with somebody one night. And it turned out, I went to hospital and just said, look, I'm getting these pains. I think I've had a heart attack.
No, I think you've missed it. He's missed a bit out. Do you want me to tell you?
Please.
So we used to be grappling and stuff in the gym, and he used to say like, "Oh, I've got this pain in my chest," when he was like rolling and stuff. He's like, when I get my heart rate up, I can feel this pain in my chest. And he said the same when you were walking the dog as well. He said, well, as soon as my heart rate gets up, I get this pain in my chest. So he kept going and going, didn't it? Like he was training and it kept happening. And then he said, right, I'm going to go and walk the dog. I'm going to get my heart rate up. I'm going to go to the hospital and tell them that I've had a heart attack. So he walked the dog, got in the car, drove to the hospital. And he said, I've got this chest pain. I think I might have had a heart attack. And he said, yeah, you have.
Wow.
Stay in and have a quadruple bypass.
Yeah, so he had to stay in the hospital for it was about 3 months, wasn't it?
3 months?
No, it wasn't 3
It
months.
felt like it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
It was
No.
about 6 weeks though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was in hospital a while.
Wow.
I don't know, 2 weeks or whatever, and then it was all right.
And then you were back on the mats. And so can I ask where, I asked him where he was. He told me he just had a shower. He was about to go to bed. Where were you when the news came out last week?
About Tom being champion?
Yeah.
I was at home. I got a text message. No, I got a phone call off you.
You were awake?
And then I was awake. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't go to bed early. I got a phone call off Tom saying, guess what? Dana White's announced. And at the same time, I was talking to Tom, Hunter said Dana's just announced in the press conference that Tom's the champion.
What was your reaction?
We've done this a long time, so I just think there are a lot better ways of doing, it's the flagship weight group. It should be John Jones retired, that should have been done properly. Announcing a champion, I think, should be done properly.
Sure.
And I don't think it was done properly.
At any point were you, and people should know, not only are you Tom's father, you're his head coach, you're his manager as well. So
agent, manager,
manager, whatever.
Better
yes.
title. Give me.
You're the guy. You're the guy.
Yeah.
So your opinion is very, very important and valid. At any point were you told, hey, if it's going to happen where it's not going to be Tom versus John, we have these plans. International Fight Week, we're going to do this. We're going to make a ceremony. We're going to hand him the belt. Were you ever told something different than what had played out last week in Baku?
No, we'd always been told that they got the John fight, and we thought they got the John fight, and then we got asked, we were coming to International Fight Week, and I asked why, and Hunter said, things will get sorted there. So we didn't ask any questions what was going to get sorted and how, and then that news came up.
Okay, fair to say that it was a little deflating for you.
Yeah. Not. I'm old, seen a lot of things in life. It was just, I just don't think it was done properly.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot better ways to have done it. And if I sat anybody in my seat or in his seat and said, could you have done it better? 99% of people would have said, yeah, they could have done it better.
That meeting that you had in London with Hunter.
Yep.
Did you believe afterwards that it was going to happen?
Yeah. We thought we were going to get the John Jones fight.
Yeah.
They were always very confident.
There was an incentive for Tom, and Tom wanted to beat the best guy there's ever been, obviously. And if he'd have took a fight, it would have probably been in July anyway, because we were in March then, maybe. And then International Fight Week, we thought we'd miss that, so it wouldn't be then. But it could have been then. So we thought he'd have 12 months off. Or it could have been November, and we thought, well, another few months isn't going to make a difference. We'll just wait another few months.
this process where you have a son who's a fighter, who's the best in the world, who's healthy, who's ready to go, and you have to train him, but you're not training for anything, right? You don't have a date, you don't necessarily have an opponent. As his coach, how did you manage that? Because I can't imagine what's that like as a pro athlete, waking up every morning without the thing in your mind that you have to, strive towards.
The hard bit for me was that, we found out that Jones got injured maybe 2 weeks before he got the call to go to fight Pavlovich.
Yeah.
And I said to him, this isn't going to turn out good.
What do you mean?
John Jones has got a history of being notorious and hard to deal with. So John Jones had fallen out of a fight for the championship. The guy who was supposed to fight, the backup fighter, didn't step in for whatever reason. So he didn't fight Pavlovich, which he should have done for the title. And John Jones should have been retire or get fit and come back. And he didn't. So they rang and said, not will you save the card, but we've got a heavyweight fight with a guy, Jones and Stipe was off the table. So there's Tom and Pavlovich fighting for interim. And I said, if you win this, it's going to be hard work. So we've gone through a period where he won the interim. You defend an interim, whatever an interim is. And loads of shit. I don't read the internet. I don't go on the internet. If anybody's listening to this and adds me on stuff, it's not me, because I don't do it. But you get loads of stuff coming up saying, you should do this, you should do that. But you're the interim world champion and you've beaten 5, 6, how many at the top 10? He's beaten 6 maybe. So now he's in line for fighting John Jones. So we have to sit and wait, and then will he fight in the middle of the night against, Tybura? Yes, he will, because it's in the hometown. He wants the win back. So we took that fight. So Blades, sorry. Bloody hell. Going mad. So fought Blades in the middle of the night. And hard preparation with him. What do I do? Do I eat? Do I not eat? Do I sleep? Do I not sleep? We got all that. And Leon had some difficulty doing it. So we were along with kind of doing that, not doing that. He wins that fight. Right, we're going to get a next fight. When is it going to be? You're going to be a backup fighter now. Oh, this is going to be awful, Tom. So we had to do a 12-week training camp, and he's saying, they're not going to fight me. So you have to make him train. He's a real good athlete and wants to train, but it's still difficult. He's still got very, very hard sparring partners. He's got to be switched on every session so he don't get injured. So we do that, and then that goes, and he gets some money for that. And then we've got to wait for John Jones then. So we've been waiting. It's going to be 2 years almost.
Yeah.
Where I, as a coach, don't know how to prepare the athlete. We've worked on loads of stuff. He's got a lot better than he was, because everybody tells us that. He's got eyes, you can see that. But it's not been ideal. We would have preferred fight, because that's how he earns a living. Unfortunately, he's not been earning a living, which is not good.
Has that been tough, Tom? Ultimately,
not earning a living.
Yeah.
Like getting money, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got some great sponsors.
Shout out to Champion.
Shout out to Champion.
And others.
Yeah. I've got a lot of good stuff, and I've got a good contract as well. I mean, we've made some money. Do you know what I mean? But I still want to make more.
But you're approaching 11 months without
your
main thing.
I want to make as much as I can, yeah. It's not the money as such, it's more just like being active. I just enjoy fighting, so it was more that as opposed to anything else.
How did Champion come about? Because this is by the way, like one of the greatest in terms of like synergistic sponsorships of all time. This being such a big story.
We've done well, both of us, with the timing and stuff.
Golly, they couldn't have scripted. Did you reach out to them? They reach out to you? How did this happen?
A little bit of both. So Champion is someone that I've known about Champion forever. They've had a little bit of a dip in the recent years, and I want to help bring them back up. But I think it's just like an authentic brand. We had a lot of meetings with a lot of other brands when I became a free agent on the clothing side of things. And is it apparel or apparel? I never know how to say it. Apparel. I think apparel as well.
Apparel sounds French.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No.
Apparel. On the apparel stuff, we had a lot of meetings with a lot of great companies and stuff, but Champion just felt right. I just felt like I really like the guys who work there. I really like the brand. They gave me, what's the word? Shaq said it in his documentary. They gave him creative
control.
Creative control. They give me creative control.
So you have a say.
I have a say of what I want my stuff to look like.
Lovely.
Yeah. And I just felt like the team we just clicked really well, and I just think I click well with the brand in general.
And it's unique to you. There's no other MMA fighter that has a deal with them. I think they just signed a boxer.
Katie Taylor.
Katie, Jesus.
Yeah,
of course. I sent it to the guys.
You're a big Katie Taylor.
I adore Katie.
Yeah, that's
She's
what I mean.
coming back in 2 weeks. Yes, of course. I saw the promos. Brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, I just think they're great, and I think that I really want to like head up that resurgence of champion. But not only that, it's a long-term deal. It's going to take me to at least the end of my fighting career. But now just working with them even for a few months, it's something that I want to do beyond fighting as well. I think that I want to work with champion, hopefully, beyond fighting and the rest of my working life.
Can I ask you, Andy? I'm a father as well. My kids are much younger than your kids. How many kids do you have, by the way?
I've got 2 sons.
2 sons. Is the other one's younger, right?
The other one's 3.5 years younger. Yeah.
He trains too.
Yep.
Fights?
No.
No interest?
Maybe we thought he had at first, but tons of ability, super tough. Not that interested in fighting.
Heavyweight? What do you do? Same.
Yeah,
what does he do?
Exactly the same. He just works for a company. It's normal.
Regular job.
Yeah.
Happy.
Trains, teaches jiu-jitsu a bit.
Lovely.
Good jiu-jitsu guy.
I have 2 boys as well.
Yep.
I watch them play soccer. They're 13 and 11. If someone even like breathes on my son, I don't say anything, but like you want to defend your child, right?
Yeah,
your cub.
yeah.
And so, again, the relationship is different. To see all this happening to your son, how difficult has the past year been for you?
The last 3 or 4 years have been not difficult. I've loved it. You know, it's what I packed in a job when I was teaching. I was an MMA guy. Sorry, I was a computer guy. Didn't do MMA because I missed the boat. I was too old. And I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. So I can pass a skill on to my kids, jiu-jitsu. So both of them did it.
How old were you when you started?
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
1996 or 97.
Okay, wow.
30-something.
Yeah.
So I just loved the sport because my knees were bad and couldn't stand up. And so I started teaching jiu-jitsu. And I just thought it was something I could get my kids to do. They love it. He's always loved it. And then he changed his mind and went MMA a bit. And then went boxing, and then went back to MMA. Fallouts at the time, he didn't want to do it anymore. Tons of ability. Managed to steer him the right way and do it.
Was there a point where you were actually done?
About 6 times.
No, loads of times. Yeah.
I would have been done if it weren't for my dad.
Really?
Yeah, we've had some big arguments over it.
What do you mean? He came to you and said,
I'm done. Oh, yeah, several times.
When was the last time?
No, he's not done it.
Oh, I've not done it since I've been in the UFC or anything like that. Yeah, before.
But like you were still a pro MMA fighter?
Yeah.
And what was the reason?
Because there isn't pro MMA outside the UFC.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, maybe in.
No, there is. Cage Warriors.
Cage Warriors, PFL, and.
Yeah.
It was so hard to get fights.
It was just hard to make money.
When you're fighting on the local scene, you ain't. I mean, technically you're a professional MMA fighter, but you're not supporting your family doing that.
Yeah.
You're not paying your rent or barely even buying food.
Did you have another job?
Yeah, I had multiple other jobs.
Like what?
I used to teach jiu-jitsu. Something I actually really enjoyed. So it wasn't like work as such. I used to work in a gym. I used to work security. I used to be like a delivery driver for a takeaway food.
Wow.
Stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah. I've done bits and bats of everything just to get by.
And why didn't you let him move on?
Well, it's kind of back to your question. He had tons and tons of ability. And I just knew that my dad used to say to me and then to my kids, and used to stand them in front and say, every day I'm getting better and better. He used to make the kids say that to him. That was his kind of mantra. And he adopted that. And at jiu-jitsu, he just got better and better. The other son did. He just kept getting better. The hard thing was he couldn't get fights. Packed in the fighting, went boxing. Boxing fights, he had to pay the opponent. Long story, but he didn't like it. Thought the training was a bit boring because there was no grappling in, because he was essentially a grappler. And then got into MMA, and then we did the MMA bit for a while, and then he just wanted to sack it off. He said, I'm not doing it, it's not right, I don't like this about this, I don't like... He didn't like lots of things, and you've got to do it. And we just had lots of heart-to-hearts where he had no money, so we lent him money, and you've got to do this, just give it one more try. And the kind of one more try, and the trying to do everything, he's talked about it multiple times in interviews, to try and do everything properly.
Yeah.
You're going to get this guy to do this for you. You're going to do this. You're not going to listen to this guy over here. This guy, we don't want him in the gym. You know, different things that I've found the hard bit is everybody, like even yesterday, everybody wants a piece of him now. You know, he goes and hits pads with somebody and they're telling him how to be the best fighter in the world because they've hit pads once with him, you know, and I just find it a weird world. That's why I don't do the social media. I can't.
Right.
I'm there every day, rain, hail, shine, for 25 years of training with him. I know him a million times better than anybody.
Sure.
But everybody else, and this is the irritating bit to me sometimes, but I'm good at switching off now. They'll tell stories about Tom, and I'll be sat there, and then they'll look at me and they'll go, "Do you know this?" I said, "Yeah, but you got the story wrong." Because I know the story.
Yeah, of course.
And you're...
Sure.
And you know what it's like, the gossip. And it's just different when he's famous, if you like. And everybody will say, he'll want a piece of you, he'll want a piece of you, he'll want to do this, and everybody's his best friend. You know, since the word undisputed appeared, the phone's never stopped ringing. You know, he's got multiple best friends who he's not seen for 20, 30, you know, a long time.
Yeah.
You've got relatives ringing you up, can he do this, can he do that? It's just gone a bit crazy, the world.
Hearing this, I sort of lament the fact that you didn't get that moment in the cage where you get to beat the guy and get. But maybe that moment was New York.
Yeah, maybe.
Was that moment New York to you?
No. What is success? What is being great? You know, you do it and you achieve something, and then you wake up the next morning, you're back to where you were. You got a bad back, you still got a bad back, it still aches. You know, you still got to go through the same process and do it again. And it's at a time where you say, do I look back here and enjoy it? I just don't know the point in life, not me personally, but how people, are you there or are you levelling off, or you? Because he's a heavyweight fighter that anything happens to. He loves the sport, he loves to compete. He's not been competing. He wants to get back to competing. And I just think then we just go on another journey where he'll compete another 5, 10 times, and he might lose some, he might win them all. Who knows? But it's just a sport.
I asked him earlier, how would the Jones fight have gone, and he gave a very.
I think
nice
in the last
calm.
year, he's.
How would it have gone if they would have fought in November? How do you think the fight goes?
The John Jones that we saw last November.
Yeah, but they're fighting this November.
I don't know what Jones. If it was the Jones that was in the cage against Stipe last year, and he'd have fought Tom last year, Tom would have beaten him.
How?
I think how he wanted.
Okay.
Because John Jones didn't look that fast, that fit, that good. If he'd trained really well, Tom's trained really well this year. If Tom this year would have fought that Jones last year, I think he could have done anything. Nobody's seen what he really can do yet.
Yeah.
The guys who come training with us, you know, we've got some really good guys, and they go away and I come back and say, spar him, and they spars him, is this better, is this better? And they can say to me, yeah, I think that's good, I think. So they're really good for the team. And we talk a lot about what's good for each other and train with each other. He's still getting better. So I think whichever way, heavyweight MMA is heavyweight MMA, one punch.
Sure.
But I don't think John Jones has the tools. He might have cut him, the ref stops the fight, but I don't think as far as submitting him or pinning him down and elbowing him or catching him in a choke, I don't think.
He says he has no preference who the first defense, if you want to call it that, is against. Do you have a preference?
Do you know what I'd like to do? He's beaten 5 or 6 of the top 10.
Yep.
I'd like him to fight everybody in the top 10.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, he just said that before you walked in. But who's first?
Well, I couldn't have known that because
I know. But that just shows that you guys are in the
who's
on
first?
the same page. Yeah.
Anybody. It doesn't really matter to me. Cyril Gane. Everybody says Cyril Gane or Almeida.
This is the top 10, by the way, for reference up here. Or you can see it right there.
Volkov is beaten. Pavlov's beaten. Blades is beaten. Almeida's there. Cortez Acosta's just got there. Tybura is beaten. Spivak is beaten. Lewis and Tuivasa, he'd beat those.
It's really Cyril or Almeida.
So Almeida, I don't think Almeida wants that fight.
Yeah, he's been very vocal, yeah.
I don't think Cyril Gane deserves to have a fight with him for the title yet, because he's already had 2 and lost them both.
Yes.
So Cyril Gane should fight a really good grappler and see if he's got his grappling up to scratch.
Maybe Almeida.
Fight with Tom. Maybe Almeida.
But the problem is if they fight each other. Yeah, then you got no.
If he's the only one.
Shadow boxing in the ring and doing sprawls on my own.
I don't.
Alex Pereira. Do you want the Alex Pereira fight?
Any fight.
Yeah.
I'd love the John Jones fight just because he wants to try and prove that he can beat anybody in a fight. It's a martial arts thing.
Honestly, with me, it's not that tricky. I just want to fight people.
No, I know. You've made that
not that
very, very clear.
This is what I think. If he fights Cyril Gane now and beats Cyril Gane in, what did John beat him in? 2 minutes. Call it 2 minutes exactly.
Yeah.
If he beats him in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, not as clean as John Jones beat him, we start all this shit again where John Jones wants to fight him. So they sign John Jones. No, I know it's bullshit, but John Jones tells the UFC he's going to come back and fight you.
You think so?
Who knows?
As long as you're the top dog.
Yeah, but
who knows is the answer.
Right, let's say I fight any of them.
Yeah.
Just Cyril Gane, for
Doesn't
example.
bother. Yeah, I'm not
Say
bothered.
I beat him.
Yeah.
And it's a shit fight, and it's a 5-round bore fest. Everyone comes out and says Tom's not that good. He's a
not
fraud,
very good,
whatever. Which they will, because that's what MMA. That's what happens. In 5 years, none of that matters anyway.
No, it doesn't.
Still won.
Yeah.
So what does it matter anyway? It's only what people say. Who gives a shit about that?
And the John Jones thing in 2 weeks. No, he's retired. Nobody's asked.
You told me. He said before. This is the last time you're going to talk about John Jones. Whenever that fight is, it's going to be asked.
I know. I'd sooner it just be if John's finished now. He's had a great career.
Yeah.
However, it's finished was wrong. Delivering it to us might have been right for him or the UFC. Who cares? But Tom should be allowed to get on with his career now without talking about John Jones.
You're 100% right. It's just a matter, the media. You get some great media. Like I see you with Piers. I saw you on Diary of a CEO. That game show that PT always talks about. He's always very impressed.
Which one?
You were on some
Question
sort
of Sport.
Oh yeah, he loves that.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. That was a while ago now.
I know, but he always mentions that as
it's mainstream stuff. Yeah,
yes,
it's more mainstream.
You get
stuff,
the Do you feel like now the UK media is going to really be behind you? Because
I don't know. I hope so.
The Simon Jordans of the world.
The Simon Jordans.
Yeah.
I won't be speaking to him.
Oh, you don't like him?
And I'm only joking. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I just know he's talked sport. No,
I will speak to everybody apart from
Sky.
Why not?
Because of reasons I can't disclose. I think they're very unprofessional.
Okay.
I'll never speak to. You'll never catch me doing a Sky interview ever, or working for Sky. Never.
Wow. Okay.
Never.
They disrespected you?
Disrespected me massively. I'll never work for them.
And you don't want to say why?
I'll never say why.
Okay.
They know why.
They know.
And
why.
it was massively unprofessional. I'll never work with them.
Okay.
I can be the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time, the best athlete to ever come out of the UK. I'll never ever work with Sky.
Really?
Yep.
When you say work, does that also mean like an interview?
Well, if I'm in a media scrum and someone from Sky asks me a question, I won't answer it.
Wow.
They'll never get headlines from me ever again.
Wow. That's big. I mean, they're the number one.
I don't give a shit. Yeah. I'm the number one.
Well, I mean, media.
I don't give a shit about
media.
media.
Fair. Hey, respect. So I see the way the UK media covers boxers.
Yeah, boxing is a lot bigger
Tyson,
in the UK.
AJ. Do you think now that one of their own champion of a sport of the glamour division, do you think they'll treat you as such?
I hope so. Not only for my sake, but more for the sake of UK MMA.
Yeah,
I want it to be as big as possible. We're not celebrated enough, I don't think.
No.
We're probably celebrated more by other countries than we are in our own country, which is sad. Football and boxing, football being soccer, and boxing is massive in the UK. It's covered massively everywhere. MMA is still a little bit niche, which is a shame.
The champion deal was kind of not done, but it was moved along by the fact family values, but it's a good product, nice people. We need the sport to grow. We need it to go the right way. When we've all gone and we're not doing this, are there going to be leagues of MMA fighters? Are gyms going to be employed to feed fighters upwards, or is the UFC going to keep a monopoly and keep doing what they're talking politics now?
I think we spoke about it before. Is like, I want young fighters to not go through what we've been through, which is financial issues. Until basically you can't really be good at MMA unless somebody's funding you to do it, or you've got a really good sponsor, or I have my dad and some close friends around me who I owed a lot of money to, and by the time I was making any money, I was in debt. I had to pay people back. I would love them to get financially supported from the time you're 16 and you're really into it. You can fight on local shows and make at least a couple of grand just to keep you going till your next fight. That'd be amazing.
Did you see The Rock mention you yesterday?
Yeah, I did see The Rock mention me.
That's pretty freaking
pretty cool. I thought it was cool as well, yeah.
Like, you're the example of I would stand no chance. You're the guy.
Yeah.
Top of the mountain.
I like that. I'm yet to meet The Rock.
Wow.
So hopefully I'm going to
But the fact that The Rock is just name dropping.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty
surreal,
cool.
right?
It was cool, yeah.
Would you ever do that stuff?
Wrestling.
I saw you with the boys with Cody.
I enjoyed it. Cody Rhodes is my guy now.
That's your guy.
He's my guy. Yeah. I don't know too much, to be honest, about this generation.
You would be a perfect wrestler. The size.
I think I've got the moves.
The quickness.
You can do these.
I've got the flips
you
and all
can do
that.
the flips.
Yeah. I think I'd be good. I'd enjoy it.
Did they ask you to do like a bit here or there?
So I wanted to do a bit. The UFC put the blockers on it.
When?
I just thought, because there was an event in Manchester.
Yeah.
And I went to the event and I was like, I'd love to do a bit. And they were seemed pretty up for it, the WWE guys.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, just let me, I don't have to do anything where I'm potentially injuring myself or somebody else.
Yeah, just like a run.
I'll just do a punch on somebody, knock them out, it'll look good.
Yeah, they gave him a speaking part.
Yeah, the UFC put a blocker on it and they give me the speaking part, which I personally think is probably my
What was it? What was the worst attribute? The storyline? What was the angle? Who was the foil?
So it was Cody Rhodes
Gunther.
Gunther. How,
yes, yeah.
He also a really cool guy.
Yeah. Legend.
They came in, they had a bit of an argument, and they had an event coming up, Crown Jewel.
Yes.
And I said, well, why are you going to save it for Crown Jewel when we can do it right here?
You were going to be the guy.
No, I did that. And
you did it, yes.
I got a bit of a, what do they call it, a pop?
A pop, yeah.
I got a bit of a pop, and they were loving it. And then...
Thespian.
Yes,
I'm not thespian. And then Cody Rhodes put the blockers on it, and they didn't... Did they have a little fight or not? I can't remember. I don't know.
But you wanted to get physical.
I wanted,
yeah. Wanted to.
But they wouldn't.
You had to ask for clearance?
Yeah, the UFC didn't clear it. They wouldn't let me. No, unfortunately.
But now you're the man. Heavyweight champ.
I still don't think they'll clear it. Maybe post fighting career they'll let me do a bit.
It's unbelievable. Is it surreal for you, Andy? And I'll let you guys go in a moment. But your son is the heavyweight, undisputed heavyweight.
Do you know
champion.
what? I can't be more honest. It's nothing's any different than it was.
Yeah.
It just feels exactly the same. I really like the sport. I really like spending. He's my son. We do what we do.
Top of the mountain.
I know, but I will probably reflect at a different time.
Yeah, but I think we look at it a little bit different. Do you know the phrase "the dog's bollocks"?
Yeah, of course. I love all the phrases. Yes.
That means you're like the top.
You're the man. Yeah.
Like just because I'm the heavyweight champion of the world, I don't think I'm the dog's bollocks. Like,
really?
Well, I do in terms of fighting, yeah, but I feel like there's a big target on my back now. We better get to work. Like, I'm not resting on what I've done. I don't think I'm a big superstar now or nothing. I'm just like, right, we got to get back in the gym, get working.
When do you think you'll find your assignment? Like, you'll get it. You'll know the date, the appointment.
This weekend.
You think so?
Yeah.
You're not leaving Vegas.
Hopefully, we're trying to get.
Yeah, you'll have the meeting.
Yeah, Hunter knows. I said, can we have a couple of hours? And he said, yeah, no problem.
Hopefully today.
Yeah, hopefully today.
Nice. Can I come
tonight? Yeah. Do you want to negotiate
I don't think you're invited
for the future,
bro? Why are you gonna say that?
I'll get ghosted.
You'll get ghosted.
I might lose my job if you show up.
And listen, this is great. By the way, you need to stop saying that. I heard you say it in a bunch of interviews.
Well, oh, sorry.
I want to keep. No, not about me. You keep saying I want to keep my job. I don't want to lose my job. You're the heavyweight champion of the world.
No,
you're the heavyweight champion.
That's a bit of Northwest humor for you.
I know, but you're not losing your job.
Just having the bants. I ain't gonna lose my job.
By the way, they owe you.
I'm the freaking poster boy of the UFC these days.
That's more like
I'm
it.
the dog's bollocks.
Yes.
But he's got a contract. Those contracts are.
What contract?
The UFC fight contract.
No, I understand, but this idea that like you can't pick your fight or you can't announce your fight, this is nonsense.
That's how they work.
You're the man. What are they going to do? Strip you? What are they going to do? Not fight you for a year?
Well, yeah.
They've already done all this.
Done all this.
Yes.
Yeah, we tried that.
No, you're right.
We didn't like it, did we?
You're the man.
Yeah.
You need to like, you think Conor waits for an announcement?
Don't know.
No.
He does not.
What do you think next?
I think it's going to be Cyril Gane. And I think it's going to be in October. You have two options.
Do you think he deserves to? Deserves is the wrong word.
It's not so much a question.
He's a really good fighter, and it'll be a really good fight.
Yeah.
But he's already had 2 shots at it.
It's a
and
weird
against
thing.
Volkov, he wasn't great.
No, it's a weird thing, but there's
Volkov
no one
won.
else. There's no one else. He's a big name. Again, there's no one else. And there's a backstory. You could sell that fight. There's 2, 3, 4 years of interaction between the two of them. Unfortunately, right now you're in a position where, just like DJ, who was here not that long ago, there was such a gap between him and the rest of the weight class.
Yeah.
He just kind of he had to fight Joseph Benavidez over and over again because there was no one else.
So who should Almeida fight then? Volkov maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That'd be a good fight.
I'd like that.
I'd enjoy that.
Who's that?
But no, Volkov and Almeida. Volkov's like a serious.
No, he's good. He's very good.
He's like someone who stayed at the top of the division for a long time. He's really good. I think that would be a good test.
Oh yeah,
good
for
fight.
sure.
And then the winner of that.
I like what Almeida's doing. He's really trying to go for
Fair
it.
play.
But you need that one loss to.
That's not my. I'll fight anybody.
Curtis.
That's not my decision.
Yeah.
And what about the one that, if there's a group that he's beaten? So Cyril's at the top, so he's got to fight him. But if he didn't fight him, and it's not Almeida, what about the others?
Oh no,
No, I know.
Now we're going all the way down the
No,
line.
yeah. But I'd like Tom to fight everybody in the top 10 to then say he's fought everybody in the top 10. He's
100%.
He's really good, and he's the best you've ever had.
Listen, the best case scenario would be if they could do the Francis fight, but we all know it's.
I think just bring back Brock Lesnar.
God.
Bring him back. Get the Rock in.
Yeah.
Get his name dropping me in press conferences and all kinds.
Insane. You versus Frank Mir, Cain Velasquez. When
that was prime heavyweights, wasn't it?
Yes,
That's when the heavyweights
those were the days. Man, you look at some of those heavyweight rankings like
Unbelievable.
2016, 2015, JDS, Kane, Brock, Roy Nelson, like even those guys, like even the top.
But were they that good, or was a lot of them at the same level at the same time?
I think they were good.
Yeah, they were good.
I think they're better than the top 10 of today.
I'm saying were they?
Overeem was in the mix too, and
Yeah,
I know there
really
were
good.
some, the guys were doing stuff, but like they were quality. My JDS was quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all
Verdum was
good.
in there. Like we could go on and on. Like these are all Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
In
they're
my
all good.
opinion, I don't know how many
Yeah.
of those are in the mix right now, but it doesn't matter. You're the man.
JDS doesn't get the respect he deserves either.
I agree.
And
You
that's
you
not-
were watching those fights back then?
Of course I
Yeah,
was.
he's
Of course I was.
mad UFC
Yeah,
fans forever.
You were
Yeah.
staying up late.
Nah, we never stayed up late.
You'd watch
We
the
don't
next
do
day?
late thing.
First thing in the
watch
morning.
next day.
Big
First thing?
breakfast. Yeah.
Spoilers?
No.
No
Phones
spoilers.
off.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Phones off.
Full card?
Yeah, full card.
Wow.
But fast forward.
Not anymore though. I don't really do it anymore.
No.
The small weights he's not interested in.
No, the small
light
weights are tough.
The flyweights.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to because I think this fight this weekend. I think that Kai Kara France he could throw a spanner in the works in my opinion
Okay.
because he's very dangerous for a flyweight. A lot of the
Hits hard.
flyweights are very very good.
Pantoja's very good.
No, I'm not taking it. He's amazing, but I think that Kai Kara. Don't get me wrong. I think Pantoja's better, in all honesty, but I think that Kai Kara France has the ability that not a lot of flyweights do, that they can turn the lights off on somebody else.
Who do you have in the main?
Massive fan of Oliveira. I think you're a bit crazy if you bet against Topuria right now.
Yeah.
I think he's in his prime right now. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I do think I think that Topuria is almost unbeatable at the moment.
Do you agree? Do you watch these guys too?
Yeah, I watch all the fighting. Not that.
You watch-
All I do is watch fighting.
Really? Just
And-
MMA?
and coach. That's it.
MMA only?
I watch jiu-jitsu matches with a gi.
No boxing.
Yeah, I watch boxing as
You
well.
do watch everything.
I
you
just-
talk about. You
just
watch
a-
kickboxing as well. You watch
I
that.
love it.
Rico,
I don't.
followed Rico all the time.
Yeah.
I love all the combat sports. I love how people move and what they do and trying to work out.
Who's your favorite fighter?
Tom.
Ah, what an answer. Other than your son?
No hesitation. Marvin Hagler used to be my favourite fighter.
Wow. That's a legend right there.
Yeah.
Hagler Hearns, one of the all-time great
Unbelievable.
rounds.
March.
Do you know who my
85.
favourite fighter is?
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
know my for right now, the most interesting guy in the UFC right now for me is DDP.
DDP.
Yeah.
Because he's awkward?
Because I don't know what the hell he's going to do.
Yeah.
Usually I can watch guys fight and I can get a feel for what the kind of plan is of attack and the strategy and what they're going to do and the way they're going to move and stuff like that. With DDP, he's just a complete mystery. The more I watch him, the less I understand him, and I think it's fascinating. Like as a fan and a person who's got like an MMA brain, it's fascinating for me. So I can't wait for his fight.
Who do you think wins that? That's a tough
I'm
one.
never betting against DDP again in
Really?
my life.
Wow.
I've done it.
Because
I've done
earlier
it
on you were...
I've done it a lot.
Yeah.
I never thought he's exceeded my expectations. He's obviously doing something in there that the naked eye can't see. He's doing something. I don't know if he's offbeat timing, his strength, his toughness, his durability. I don't know what it is. You'll have to ask his opponents. I don't know. But I'll never bet against that guy again.
What about all-time? Like when you were a kid?
GSP.
GSP,
Easy,
right. Yeah,
easy
yeah.
question. Yeah.
Anderson Silva for me.
Anderson, interesting.
I know he got done for doing.
Yeah.
It was so exciting to just put people
He
away.
was very good.
Did you guys go to any of those fights in England?
Yeah, loads.
Yeah. Used to
70,
go all
UFC 70 did you go to?
Who
was
on-
Did you go when Couture got knocked out by Gabriel Gonzaga?
Yes.
You were there?
Yes.
What a freaking
Wait.
scene that was. Do you remember that with the head kick?
No,
Yeah,
that wasn't
yeah.
Couture.
Not
That was
Gonzaga,
it wasn't
Crow
Cop.
Yeah, we were there.
It was
As a
Crow
result,
Cop.
yes,
we were
yes,
there
yes.
for that.
Yeah, we were there.
for that.
As a result of the knockout, it ended up being Gonzaga. You were there for that?
Yes, we were there.
Oh my gosh.
Tom was about 14
Gonzaga
and
knocking him
15.
out and his leg.
Twisting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was there for the rematch in Krakow, Poland as well. Krakow, Poland.
Okay, yeah, that was a few years later.
That was-
What about Rampage against Dan Henderson? UFC 75.
No, we didn't watch that.
Don't
That was
think we watched
Pride
that.
versus UFC.
Don't think we watched that.
No,
one.
we didn't see that.
Were you at, there was one in Birmingham, Bisping against Chris Lieben.
Yep.
You were
Yeah,
at that one.
100% were there. for
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Just watching all the time, Tom.
Were you at like the brawl at Royal Albert Hall?
No, we didn't watch it. That was 36. Wasn't it?
Yeah. Ian Freeman?
Yep.
Wow.
Frank
I
Mir.
remember when Bisping fought Elvis Sinisic in
Yes.
Manchester. I
Yeah,
think that
we-
might have been the same event as Krokop and Gonzaga. I think.
Yes, UFC 70, I think, was
Yeah.
the first after a long stretch after the Albert Hall one.
Yeah.
And then there was, later on when Bisping fought in the middle of the night. Were you in the UFC yet? No, you weren't in the UFC.
no,
2016.
No, when he fought Anderson Silva, no. I wasn't in the
No, not even that. No, he fought Dan Henderson too.
Don Henderson, sorry. Yeah.
Were you at the Anderson
Second
fight?
one.
Yes. in
You were
London.
there?
Yeah, in London.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was there too. You had already started though.
Started what in the UFC?
No, your
MMA.
career.
Yeah.
That was 2016.
Yeah, I already started. Yeah.
Man, this has been tremendous.
Did you answer the question at the Pereira fight?
No.
What about him?
He said, would you like to fight Pereira?
Yeah, I've said yeah. I'll fight anybody.
What about you?
Anybody?
You'd like
just
to
fighting
come
it.
on.
They can't get
Rank
right.
them for me. Who do you want first?
In the real world now, Tom to fight. Cyril Gann is probably, like you said, the best fight for him to do now.
The Pereira fight would be the most.
I'm not bothered. Doesn't
would
bother
be the
me.
sexiest. You know,
Yeah.
that would be the most high profile.
Yeah, I guess.
Does he need to fight heavyweight first though?
Nah.
Does he need to win against
he's a big-
Ankalaev first?
Nah.
Maybe fight Ankalaev if he beats him twice.
Nah.
What, me fighting Ankalaev?
If he beats Pereira twice.
Ankalaev's good, man.
That'd be an interesting one too.
Ankalaev's good. I think he's massively underrated. Ankalaev.
He is.
He's
He
really
is
good.
underrated.
That's a
Really
good
good.
fight.
Him versus Ante. He said he only likes to fight people that go to his house.
No, that's the people I don't
That's
want to
it.
fight.
You said what?
I said I won't fight anyone who's been to my house.
That's fair.
That's my rule.
Ante's in. He's great.
Ante's in. Yeah,
What a guy.
congratulations.
Yeah.
And is Mick coming back soon?
Slick Mick.
Yeah.
Slick Mick's getting over an injury at the moment.
Okay.
But he'll be back soon, I would
And
imagine.
Phil DeFries.
Phil DeFries.
Maybe the
he's-
most underrated heavyweight in the world.
Yep.
Does he need to
Very
come back
good.
to the UFC?
I don't know.
He's happy.
He's on a.
They treat
he's
him
on
well?
a cushy deal over there. I think. I
Okay.
think he's. And his last fight, I actually have watched his opponent for a long time, and I thought it was a really dangerous fight for Phil at this stage. Phil just went out there and crushed him. Again, he looked great.
If Phil gets his hands around somebody.
He's so strong.
Yeah, he's like a big bear.
He's so strong.
Really
we
good.
have this custom
World
table
class.
here. You saw
Yeah.
this
I saw
Ariel
Rico
Helwani.
signing it.
with my name on it.
Right.
With the show, because we're doing these shows out here, and we asked everyone who came by to sign it, and we're going to auction it and give it to Ben Askren's family. All the
amazing.
all the
Oh,
money.
brilliant. Yeah.
So he's going through a tough time. So if you guys don't mind, I know you have a lot of things. What do we have on tap for the rest? Are you doing UFC X? Any appearances?
No.
You're nothing. That's it. You're going home. You're just gonna camp out at UFC headquarters.
No, we're what today? You mean what we're doing
Like
today?
what's on tap? What's on the
we're going to
itinerary?
Slap. We're going to Slap.
Oh, you're
tonight.
going to slap
Yep.
tonight. You like this slap stuff, Andy?
He was no.
It's a fun time though.
It's a nice.
Yeah, I bet.
It's
The energy.
when you're in the
It's
energy.
vibey. It's vibey.
There's
a
That's what
vibe.
I'd say. Yeah.
Where is it? At the Fontainebleau?
Yeah.
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 Tom likes it because it's like media after.
Oh,
He gets to meet celebs and stuff.
No,
yeah.
I
There's
don't
all the
know.
influencers and stuff.
Yeah.
You like those
no,
guys?
he didn't.
Not really.
Yeah.
No,
Not my
it's
team.
Not
be
for me.
honest.
You're kind of an influencer too.
Well,
You-
I am a
Ooh.
bloody
Good job,
cage
yeah.
fighter. I'll remind people of that pretty soon.
Yes.
cage
people,
fighter.
It has been a
people,
while.
people started coming up to me and like, I've seen you on TikTok.
Oh no!
Seen your videos.
Oh, I might as well
on
just retire
YouTube.
now. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you're doing like meals with Patty and stuff like that.
He's doing well though. The YouTube.
He is doing well, but we
Well,
need-
not Paddy, me.
oh, you're
I'm doing well.
You're
I
killing.
mean, Paddy's doing well as well.
Yes,
but,
yes. All you
we're-
guys.
We're doing well. We've got some big stuff coming out.
Yeah. What else?
Europeans
We've got all
are doing
kinds.
well.
We've got what?
Very well.
The Europeans are doing well.
Yeah, the Europeans are smashing it.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
the world stage now. It's great.
The guys at Origin.
We've got all kinds coming out. We're actually really ahead on the YouTube content. So
Oh, you got stuff in the bank.
we've got stuff in the bank. Yeah, which is great. yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to be cool.
Well, it's all going well. Congratulations. Thank you
you.
so much, Tom.
Thank you.
Let's hug it out. Come on, guys.
All right. Wait, my back's a bit
Let's
stiff. I'm going to have to warm it up.
Aspinall, you're the man. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. What a beast you are.
Congrats.
Back. It reminds me of me when I hug myself off the back.
It's really funny because people who see him fight always say to me, will he get down to light heavyweight? I say, have you never seen him? And when they see him, oh, you're big.
Oh my gosh.
He's a lot bigger than people think he is.
What do you got? Everything okay?
Yeah, everything's good.
Any mean messages?
No mean messages.
Do you mind?
I'll do it, of course.
We got to take. Where's GC? GC, you got to take a picture of me and the champ. Did you see GC wearing your shirt?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, he was there yesterday.
Love him.
Raul Rosas, you're a fan.
Yeah, I like him.
He's tiny. I thought
He's
he was a
cool.
lot- I thought he was a lot bigger than
135.
that. Yeah.
Met him before. He's cool.
Do you see Connor's shirt here? I think you like Connor more than me.
I love Connor.
Yeah, he's the man. Andy, get in there as well, but do it from the opposite side.
From this side.
Yeah, because it would be upside down. Let's take a quick one. I'm sorry, Frank. Come here with Mr. and Miss.
Oh, all right, let's go on. I'll sign this in a minute.
Okay, let's do it.
I love the dog. The dog edition's cool.
Security.
What's the dog? Oh, yeah, I like it.
To the audience at home, they are taking a picture together.
Thank you, guys.
No, it's no problem.
Thank you. We're still live, by the way.
We're still
Oh yeah. Oh, we're still going. Yeah, you thought this was no. We go.
You still got work to do.
Yeah, we still got work.
I got to pee.
You got to pee? It was all that Celsius. Thank you for this. We look forward to getting the care package. Shout out to Dosbrock.
No, we're champion now.
Well, I know, just he made...
No, that's okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. You're the man. And down with British Airways. Mr. Aspinall, thank you so much. Pleasure. I'll send Pizza your best.
Okay. Got to see this guy tomorrow. What do you think?
Which guy? Don't say anything. We're still live.
What do you think?
What do I...
Good event.
Good event, yes. Tell the UFC brass I say hello.
Anybody in particular?
No, just everyone. Everyone, yeah.
Cyril Gant, do you think?
Yes.
I just think he's a bit entitled.
Nah, listen. There's no one else. You got to fight. You got to fight.
Ready to go.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Tom, all the best. Up Wigan. Wigan. Shout out to Wigan. Bye, Tom. All the best to you. You're the man. There he is, the great Tom Aspinall, everyone. Tommy Aspinall, Aspinall, Tommy Aspinall, na 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 na. Did you guys enjoy that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Did you guys have fun?
The most fun I've had all week.
Those, by the way, those guys have to be like the most down to earth dudes. Is Rick coming in? You ready? Oh, okay, yeah, this is great. Oh, how about this from Sleeto, Rick? Come in. Aspinall interview was one of the best in the channel's history. What an absolute treat. Hello, Rick. How are you? You can finally let your hair down. Listen, we were talking about the MVPs, who's the real MVP. Frank wants to be the MVP. Everyone.
Wait, Frank wants to be the MVP? How's that?
This is the real MVP right here.
No.
Well, there's a blessing and a curse that has occurred.
Tell me.
First of all, it's your first time sitting down.
Yes.
Oh, wow. The blessing. Oh, I look at Tom. He signs it as
Also,
Big Tom.
What I love about this,
he's top.
middle top.
Yeah, he
middle
knows.
top.
He knows.
The champ is right
Yes.
there. Although Volk is the champ as well. So
Yeah, he went. No, the champ is. The champ is.
Who's that? Is that Andy? Who signed right here?
Yeah, he did it backwards. Shout out to Andy.
Legend. Both of them. Absolute legends.
The gift and the curse of all of this is the gift is that we got to do all this stuff and we had the guests.
Incredible.
The curse is it went so well, it flowed so well with you sort of leading the charge on the booking standpoint. Oh, it didn't go so well.
No, it
What
went
don't I
so
know?
well, but it didn't go well because of me. It went well because of everybody.
No, I know, but like kind of.
The booking specifically part.
So, you had it. You had it. When Connor does the thing of like, don't talk to me.
Oh, he's impersonating me.
Not right now.
There's shit that needs to get done for this to function. Then we can do the little chit chat. Then we can do like right now. It's the good time.
This is good. This is when we can let our hair down.
Connor's gonna get the Aspinall sorted, and then I want to do international fight week draft.
So yesterday we're at dinner. Where do we go again?
Shang Artisan Noodle. Love that place.
Shang
Shout out.
Artisan Noodle.
I don't know about free pub, but we'll do it.
Whatever. They were nice to us. Off the strip.
Off the strip.
Well, what kind of food was it? It was.
It's just a hand pulled noodles.
Yeah, but like, what country?
It could be a few. There's a lot of like Asian cultures that do the hand pulled.
Asian,
but yeah, definitely Asian.
Yes.
Dumplings, spicy broth.
Oh, phenomenal.
Hand pulled noodles, incredible.
Beef. Phenomenal. If you're ever in Vegas and want to go off strip, this was great. It wasn't like too crazy, too expensive. Anything.
Probably most similar to like a Shanghainese. Shanghainese noodle soup is like kind of like the
yes.
What it was.
Now we're sitting there and we're like, you know what? In the midst of all this, we came to the realization we didn't do the International Fight Week draft, which we probably have been doing since. Like,
man, it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, it has to be at least 2016, 2015 because that's when the whole like International Fight Week, 2 events per week, 3 events at one point per week thing started, and we totally forgot.
And that's how it started because there were so many events. We were like, oh, let's pick and choose.
Let's pick and choose.
Now, are we gonna do just UFC?
I say.
Are we gonna do PFL?
Well, honestly, we can include Jake Paul.
Are we gonna do Jake Paul?
PFL. I say everything this weekend.
Everything's on the table.
Everything's on the week. It makes it more interesting. Because by the way, I was looking at Tapology. Check this out. I was looking at Tapology. There's an insane amount of events. Throw Deontay Wilder in there.
Yes.
Today is June 27th.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm just giving you everything that they put at the top here.
Yep.
Cage Warriors.
Yep.
PFL. ACA. Cage Warriors again. Octagon 73. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. UFC 317. And that's it. There's a lot.
It's quite a bit.
I say we go with everything.
Okay.
Now, how are we going to decide who goes first?
I feel like we could just do it in like an order. You go
There's
first.
a
I'll go
randomizer.
second, Connor goes third.
Oh, do we have the randomizer?
Yeah, it goes like that.
And, okay, we have to...
Starts with you.
I don't know if Connor looked it up, but it was usually 5 fights.
5 fights, yeah.
5 results. But there was like points attached.
Yeah, we'll get that back out. We'll figure out the scoring. It was like a finish is worth 3. No, a finish might be worth 5.
Right.
A win
I guess
is worth
technically
3.
we don't need that now.
No, it'll be good. We'll have it.
No, like we don't need to know it.
No, we don't need to know it now, but we'll distribute that. Just me, you, and Connor though.
Watch party tomorrow.
Watch party is tomorrow.
Oh, you don't want anyone else because
Frank was like, you know what, guys, let me sort this one out. I'm welcome to. I can't hear them, so you're gonna have to tell me if they want to.
Why is it that he can't hear us?
Well, he's not wearing cans.
And whose choice was that?
Oh, he's saying why can't you hear them? It was your choice not to wear cans.
Yeah, I don't want to wear the comms pack.
Yeah.
If I had my earpiece,
my eardrum's
while I was
about
in
to-
there for 30 minutes, Frank could have said at any point, "Hey, you're going in there. Maybe I could put your earpiece in." That would have been good. But
Why didn't you
he
do
did
that,
not.
Frank?
I just can't talk to him.
Do people like a Helwani show on a Friday? Should we change it up? Crack on Wednesdays, Boys in the Back on Tuesdays, Helwani show Thursday, Friday?
If the people demand.
I mean, I'd say people are liking it right now.
I feel like we've settled into our Thursday. I don't know.
You like your Thursday spot?
Yeah, I like my
All right.
Thursday.
Well, it's been great. Tomorrow we've got a watch party. Then we got a post show. Then we got the Monday.
The Monday after.
We've got some plans. Maybe we're going to go to Tough Enough.
Yes. Sunday night, hopefully.
Speaking of intimacy, as Connor said yesterday.
Did you tell that story?
Well, he was on the show. He did this on the show.
Oh, he said this on...
Yes, on the show.
Okay.
He said, speaking of intimacy, and I'm like, no one said intimacy or even referred to intimacy in any way, shape, or form. Hello, sir. Any news? I've been locked in for the past 3... Anything we missed?
this was the news. Tom talking was the news.
You've been back there. Any stories? Any behind the scenes? Any interactions?
It was fun. I'll say this. Today was a tighter book show, right? Yesterday we had like... somebody's an hour, somebody's this amount of time. There was more like breathing room, and what that led to, and also there was more familiarity. What that led to was like, we've got Izzy in a room with Volk at times. We got Dan and Izzy, who are obviously incredible good friends.
But then there were a couple of like cross-pollinations.
Yeah. Yesterday was a lot like happening in the suites, but today it had to be like Swiss watch. It was like, this person's on for 20 30,
minutes,
boom, we got to get this next person. It got chaotic for a second.
I felt bad. I couldn't meet Leo. Did you see Leo?
I did see Leo, yeah.
Legend. Ian Gary's son.
Yeah.
They didn't let him in here because we're in a poker room.
Well, I gave a heads up to Layla and Ian, like, hey, yesterday we had a young man turned away. We need to be aware of this. Let me take you up to the suite. So it was all him.
What a cute kid.
Incredible.
No, I think it's always fun when you have these situations and there's like a crossover. So like Joanne Wood is hanging out with Izzy.
Joanne Wood and John Wood and manager to the Stars, Danny Rubenstein, are just hanging out in the room with Dan Hooker and Israel Adesanya. It was great.
I love these things.
Today, Rico and Tom's teams who were there, it ended up being 15-ish people. Adi Attar shows up.
Adi was here.
He brought other people.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. It was a party
up there.
Adi
was here. Lloyd Pearson
was here. He bumped into Cam 3 and took it out temporarily.
Wow. Is it back? Well, clearly it's back.
It's back.
Yeah.
But he took it out.
Damn.
But look, this is a well-oiled machine. Like everybody in the back there took care of it.
I don't need to know everything that's going on back there.
No,
ask Rick what all the buzz is about.
But no, everything's
what
been
buzz,
good. It's been a lot of fun.
Frank says, ask Rick what all the buzz was about. There was buzzing with the mics? What happened?
Look what you did, Frank.
Fuck, Frank. What happened? Tell me right now. I'm not dropping this.
No, like the buzz, like the news. Like ask him.
He's messing with you.
He's saying
because
the
of
news.
yesterday.
Because of yesterday.
Yeah.
But we could hear mic 3, right?
No, we couldn't hear it at all.
Well, because here's the thing.
Actually, we couldn't even hear this one.
In my headphones, I hear mic 2. I do not hear mic 3.
Oh, they were both off.
Yeah, perfect. I'm so happy. I'm looking over the news here.
This was the news. There is no news.
I'm just seeing. Were there any fight announcements?
No.
What's your level of excitement for? By the way, are you guys going to do? We didn't talk about this. Are you going to do a dual watch party tomorrow with Jake Paul?
No, it's just going to be UFC.
Just UFC.
I mean, we'll probably we'll be watching, and if there's a commentary to have on it. But our
What if
primary
there's a
focus
knockout?
will be no, certainly, but it's just the Jake Paul fight. Like that's the attention. Our focus will be on the UFC. If there's a crazy thing in the Jake Paul, all of a sudden Ariel Helwani's in the ring. You know,
That'll be a good
we'll
time.
react to it.
What do you think? You think it's going to be Ciryl Gane?
I think it will be. I don't care for that fight.
What is a fight that you care for that is even doable?
Alex Pereira versus Tom Aspinall.
But I don't know if it's doable.
Why is it not doable?
I mean, I guess it's
very
more
doable.
It's more doable than Francis Ngannou
sure.
or John Jones.
I would love to see Francis or John Jones, but those are not doable.
No.
Alex feels doable. Why does it have to be Ciryl Gane?
No, you're right.
I like Andy and Tom's plan. Clear out the top 10 and then say who's going to rise? Who's left? There is nobody left for me. Find somebody for me.
Ciryl Gane is the one that makes the most sense. He's the biggest name. There's a history there. He's coming off a win as close as it was. I say get Almeida a win.
Yeah. What did they say? Almeida and Volkov should match up. That makes
which
sense.
I don't mind because he has a history with Volkov too. But he's just going to be in a situation right now. It's kind of a bummer for him because he's going from a situation where John Jones was John Jones.
Yeah.
And there's such a massive drop off in terms
It's
of
not
names.
too far a drop off from Alex. Alex is the name that can bridge that gap. Alex is the one name that can bridge that gap that's left. Do Alex.
Are you saying do Alex instead of Ankalaev?
Yes.
Wow.
I said this
you're
immediately
saying-
after the fight.
And then do Yuri?
Yeah, sure. Hey, my time's over at light heavyweight. I'm going to go chase this giant in Tom Aspinall. I'm going to take out the giant. And for Tom, a huge name on his resume.
Yeah.
Ciryl Gane, as you've laid out, like it's the best of those options, but it's not a great option. Like no fans are going to be clamoring for that fight.
Yeah.
They know what's going to happen. Tom is going to beat Ciryl.
I just think at this point the appeal is let's just see him fight.
Well,
I don't really
certainly we
care.
just want to see Tom back in there. He needs to start the run. He needs to start this like championship defense run
Yes.
that's going to go as long as it'll go.
Let him go on a roll. Oh, here he is.
There he is. There's the boy.
The prodigal son of Las Vegas. What were you doing? Hanging out with the Aspinalls?
Yeah.
Pro.
Just chilling- just
See that,
chilling with
Frank?
the Aspinalls.
He waited until he was in front of the
Charlie,
microphone.
The man, Nick, the whole team up there, man.
The whole squad.
Tight-knit squad. They do
Vibes
it right.
were good.
Oh, vibes
Was
are
Rico
tight.
still there?
No, Rico's
he's
gone. We were trying to get Tom some food, trying to get Andy some food. It didn't work out. So they might be a little hangry up there.
Why didn't
Jeez.
it work out?
If Rick was there, it would
you
have
know.
worked out.
No.
Rick would have gotten it done.
Nah,
Rick would have gotten it done.
I mean, look how upset he is right now.
I'm upset, but only because I don't know the answer.
They're having some Cheez-Its, some Welch's fruit snacks.
Are they hanging in the room?
Yeah. They wanna.
They want to say hello to you after
get a quick
after the
something
fact.
with you.
Oh,
after the
okay.
fact.
Well, let's
Yeah,
get
let's
into this.
get into it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So here we are. We've decided International Fight Week draft. It will include everything that's happening this weekend.
PFL.
PFL,
Octagon
317, Octagon,
Paul.
ACA, Jake Paul, Deontay Wilder, everything.
Deontay Wilder.
Anything in combat sports that's happening
On
this
BLK
weekend
Prime?
is on the table.
Yes, I'm okay, bro.
Yes, shout out.
and it's
BLK
just
Prime.
us three going.
Us three.
head-to-head.
Yes.
All right, I'm the back-to-back defending champion.
You
Are
go
you
first.
actually?
Yeah.
You go first.
shit.
We'll do snake.
All right, so we'll go
Okay.
this way and snake it back.
All right.
You're up.
I'll go Ilya Taporia.
Mother
Wow.
effer. That was
So
mine.
short,
That was
man.
mine.
I gotta say, I feel like Charles has been disrespected this week. Give me pants.
Okay.
Easy.
Moicano.
All right.
Ooh. All right, you got another one, Helwani.
Jake Paul.
Okay. Wow. The problem child.
Yes.
El
can we
Pico de Gallo.
But by the way, just for
El Pico de Gallo.
Pico de Gallo. Can we get these?
Gallo del
This
Dorado.
is for on air. Jordan, can you relay it to on air?
Yeah, of course.
Just if we could get like updated graphics on the fly. would
No,
be-
Yeah, for sure, man.
Okay.
We got that
He just
kid.
walked out of the room very upset.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna
Rick.
take. I'm going to take. Oh, who's gonna get a finish?
Come on, man.
I'm gonna take RoboCop. Gregory
Oh, thank you,
Rodriguez.
sir. You guys left the door wide open for me.
Mother. Who does he
Pick
got?
number 1, Jacoby Smith. Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, the biggest favorite, right?
yeah.
Maybe in UFC history.
Oh, is he actually?
Yeah. He's like a minus
You popping
3,000.
a toothpick
Yeah, I'm doing
in.
it too. I'm
Big
doing it.
Berry, baby.
Should I try a different one?
No, it's only
Oh,
Big Berry. That's
Oh, I
the
can
flavor.
smell that from here.
Oh, it's
Want
good.
one?
Grab one.
Try
man.
one.
I will have one of these toothpicks or a cigarette in my mouth for the remainder of the weekend.
Yeah.
what else you
and then
got?
my second pick, Jonathan Denise.
All right, I'll take T-Rex. I'll take Terrence McKinney.
By the way, how many are we doing? 5?
Yeah, 5
5.
apiece.
One second. Let me go over to PFL here real quick.
Shout out to Pick'em, man. Toothpicks are great.
Ooh.
The
Fabian-
ASMR
the
with these
flavor's
toothpicks.
I mean, best of both worlds. Pick'em
Frankie.
flavor, Tom Aspinall.
Fabian Edwards, Josh Silvera, Phil Davis, Sullivan
You're
Colley.
picking all these guys?
No, I'm looking. Dalton Rosta, Aaron Jeffrey, Sergio Pettis, Rafion Stotts, Antonio Carlos Jr., Simeon Powell.
This is good watching right now.
Valentin. I'm going over the stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but
we
I'm
allowed-
saying we're all looking at our
Are
phones.
we allowed to pick from the one Friday night fights, or have those already taken place?
What's the Friday
Yeah,
night
they
fight?
probably already took place.
Yeah, I think they already
All
took
right.
place.
Give me Simeon Powell
Okay.
Okay.
and give me Deontay Wilder.
Ooh, Deontay.
Is that 4 picks for you?
Yep.
Yeah, he's on his 4th. I'm going to follow, I think, what was Pete's parlay boy pick, and I'm going to go Fabian Edwards.
Okay.
Anyone writing these down?
We'll
Jedi.
be able to go
We
back.
can just watch it
Absolutely.
back.
Jedi's
We'll go
writing
back
them down.
on the back end.
Shout out to Jedi.
Someone already took Gregory Rodriguez, correct?
I took RoboCop, yeah.
And you took Simeon Powell?
Sure
He
did.
And you took Fabian Edwards?
I took Fabian.
Biagio Ali Walsh.
Yeah, I was
on
thinking of that
on
one.
the PFL card for me. Thank you.
I was thinking of that one. It's a nice one. I need more 317 activity.
Anybody going to touch? You got another one, right? Or did you just take 2?
Oh, I sure do. That's my last pick. Give me.
Wait, you just did. How many did you do?
that
just
was your
now?
4th, and this
Okay,
is your 5th,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, this is my 5th. I'm seeing some lines on Tough Enough. 145 on Sunday.
Oh,
I'm seeing
Wow.
some lines.
we could watch.
for it.
We could watch your pick.
I will
go.
be going with Kanan Kawahawi in the main event. Tough Enough. We'll be there.
That's a good one.
I don't feel like any of us have picked a dog yet, right?
Nope.
Charles Oliveira.
Oh wow, yeah, you could do that, huh?
I can't believe we decided to do every event this weekend.
Who did? Someone did Pantoja?
I
Yeah.
took Pants. Yeah, that was my number 1.
Do I go Kai Kara?
Good. You could go opposite me.
Yeah, I like that.
F it.
All
Kai
right,
Kara.
3-peat loading.
There it is.
What's on the slate? A grand apiece?
Hell yeah.
No,
High
no,
roller
no,
in
no,
Vegas?
No.
On the slate, worst loser
Okay. There's
Has-
a punishment.
has to pay for the omakase.
Oh fuck.
Frank's
okay.
not invited.
Frank
like it.
is taking my spot. I'm out.
like
you
this.
don't.
I'm
You don't
out.
do omakase?
No, I don't want to pay for it.
Worst loser. Yeah. So you can't. You just. It's
Then
like.
why the hell am I not invited?
It's like fantasy. You don't want to be last place because
Yeah,
you have to cut your
I don't wanna
hair,
pay for it.
or you have to dance. You have to do some bullshit like that.
Yeah, we can think of a punishment on the back end.
Everything good on the back end? Was
No.
it a good day? No, like any
These mics
any
did not
war
work.
stories? Nothing.
I've been buzzing all day, man.
Yeah, it's been a great day. It's been a great day.
They already did it.
Oh, they already did the buzz
Yeah,
edit.
you guys did the buzz edit. Israel Adesanya, Alex Volkanovski, Dan Hooker, Ashbel Castro, Danny Rubenstein, John Wood, Raul Rosas. Moved over to today.
Jojo Calderwood.
Yes, brief, of course. Highlight of the day.
Danny
Unbelievable. Demetrious Johnson, Destiny Johnson,
Yeah.
who ended up being a revelation.
How about that?
Yes, she ended up being fantastic. How that was her debut, and DJ has a very successful YouTube channel and has never had her on is beyond me.
She'll be
We were
coming on
talking
soon,
business
I'm
the
sure.
whole time. Podcast
on
and
it,
everything.
on it. Ian
Destiny's
Machado
great.
Garry, Rico Verhoeven, Tom Aspinall, Andy Aspinall. That's like, what is that in 2 days? 11?
lot.
A lot of premium guests. We did well.
What a day. Thank you very much to our good friends over at the Venetian. The Venetian Resort in Las Vegas here at the poker studio. Do we have any more super chats?
Super chats.
Oh,
Oh, there's a graphic.
We
Oh,
do.
wow.
You want to go ahead and read those off for us, Ariel?
yes.
Tough.
Actually, I don't see them. Oh, here. No. There are no other super chats. I did the one.
Here's one.
Did you just do it because... Please get Frank to put the video part of the shows on Spotify. Frank, please. I'm going to not live anymore if you don't. This
Okay,
is
so
from
why would you read that?
Alejandro Duran 45.
My God.
Ariel, I'm looking at these signatures here. Like, I feel like we can only have maybe 1 or 2 guests on Monday. You know, because
We're running out of space?
Take the 2 spots, and then we're good. Right here next to Tom.
This
right
is
here
great.
next to
What
Tom.
a-
This is fantastic.
What a beautiful thing
This is incredible.
I hope it goes for $100,000. DJ over there, Rico, Big Tom over here,
Raul Rosas with the
Rosas
big
with the
double R.
Chihuihuis.
Double R.
Tom popped for the Chihuihuis. Rico with the number 1.
Andy signing.
Andy signing
this
upside
reverse
down.
way.
Oh, I love it.
What do you write? Be kind, is he?
Be great.
Be great.
Izzy
Be
wrote
Kind,
Be
Stay
Kind.
Dangerous.
Stay dangerous.
Hulk wrote Be Great.
above that.
Amazing.
Dan Hangman Hooker with a pretty signature
His
as well,
signature
man.
is incredible.
Yeah, it's
it
nice.
was the nicest one.
Does it say Hangman?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
Hangman
middle.
in the middle.
Like that looks like a star athlete
It does.
signature, right?
I was talking to
Most
Dan.
of these guys do. I'm not gonna lie.
I was talking to Dan, and we were talking about like there were people outside, trying to get some signatures and things like that. And he's like, I have that signature, and then I have
he told us this.
Yeah,
He said it on the show. He's got the fake one.
I was
Yeah,
sorry.
I haven't seen much.
No, I know. By the way, we didn't get any champion merch. I thought.
I'm going to the Champion store and I'm buying it out.
Is there a champion store here?
Yeah. Tom did like an activation there yesterday.
Pop up.
Yeah, they have
I
a
saw
punching
they have-
bag that I'm
Wait,
going to go
so-
break the record.
Wow.
So
He
is
set
that
the
stuff
record.
available now in the U.S.? The heavyweight stuff?
Yeah, they also have it in New York. He was telling me as well.
Oh,
Incredible. All right, guys.
Those
been a day.
billboards, man. From Manchester to Vegas.
Shout out to
damn.
Mike D9707 for his super chat. I don't
That
really know
looks
how
great.
to look through all the super chats, if I'm being honest. Oh, wait.
what a day!
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There it is. Ming Yang will smash Walker. What do you guys think? This is Nathan256 Graham. Shout out. Yeah, I think Ming Yang wins that fight. I'd like to see Rico versus Krikilia in one championship. Shout out. This is Jason Carney, 3433. GSP ducked Hendricks rematch and never defended middleweight belt against Robert Whitaker. Anderson is closer to the GOAT than GSP, what he has in fractions. This idea that GSP ducked Hendricks, he did fight him, and then he got something called ulcer colitis. I don't think he ducked Whitaker. He was sick. You may say that he made that up, but listen, he gave up the belt and never held up the division. So. Mike D9707. Why do we assume Surreal is next? Nobody wants to see that. Tom versus Alex, 2 of 3. We lost so many juicy fights that carry heavyweight for, or 2 or 3. I guess he's saying they're going to fight twice or 3 times for 2 years. By the way, Ian should have diamond cutter DJ through that poker table. Lame. Aspinall interview was one of the best in channel history. What an absolute treat from Sleeto. That's GC. Have you filled out your NASCAR bracket yet? From Jason Carney.
Oh, for the midseason challenge? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
When is that?
I don't know. I've seen commercials for it, but
Damn, you're not locked in like you used to be.
You used to be locked in.
I'm still locked in. I've watched every single race. I'm going to drive a supercar on Sunday morning at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yes.
Ferrari.
That's one of the big ones.
Oh, can't wait.
And that's that. All right, we are out of time. Thank you very much to everyone who watched today. Frankie, you can hit my music. We got a lot more fun to come here in Las Vegas again. Watch party tomorrow at 9:45.
6:45
p.m. We like to stick with the
Start
East
with
Coast.
the Eastern first.
9:45 p.m. Eastern time. 6:45 in the West. Believe it or not, I will be in Anaheim tomorrow.
See ya.
And so you might see me involved in that, but I will be coming back, and I will be here for the festivities on Monday. We'll be doing our show at 10 a.m. So Monday's show is going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern, the regular Helwani start time, unless we realize that everyone's asleep and we just push it back. I mean, clearly what I've realized today is the time doesn't really matter. You get the guest, you get the guest.
Yeah.
You know, you get
Subject
the
to
guest, and
change.
people come. We'll also have the post show. Man in the Hat is going to join us on Saturday. And and then we'll do our show on Monday. Up on the site already, in case you missed it yesterday, all the interviews from yesterday. So go check those out, including the live show. And again, thank you to everyone behind the scenes. Hey, thank you to Ben Hefner, who's working behind the scenes for us. Thank you to the whole Yahoo team. Want to give a shout out to a young man named Dustin, who's working hard for us this week, doing a lot of cool behind the scenes stuff that's going to be coming out over the course of the next week or so.
Tyler as well from Yahoo.
Wanted
Big
to give a shout out
to
to Tyler. Shout out to him. Wanted to give a shout out to our friends at X, who have been working with us this week. Hashtag Uncrowned Vegas. Jamie, and I do believe Tyler
as well.
So they are doing huge things.
And
We're
Sid.
gonna do more.
Shout out
Sid. Shout out to him. Shout out to everyone here at the Venetian in Vegas. And shout out to the team back at the control room, including new member of the team, Kayla. Shout out to these guys working hard. Shout out to our guests. Shout out to the world. Back tomorrow. Different time, different place. Was that too loud for the poker guys? I'm sorry. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace out.